Hello, 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 my friends in YouTube. Can you guys hear me? I see a couple of people here. I see Neos, Lord Frasau, Erbil Koban, Siko, Egekasoba, Ana Losenko. See that Egekasoba and Ana Losenko, those seem like very, I don't know if it's Russian or Ukraine or, this sort of like Northern Asia countries. I've always liked those names. They sound very powerful. What's up, guys? What's up? Mr. Roman as well. We got El Santo Padre, Tamires, Dafty Pop, Mika Pop. And here on Twitch, we got, of course, Noah, Solid Mango, Alan, PC Gamer. What's up? What's up, guys? There we go. Thank you for the sub. Control plus Z. Nice name. Nice name. Thank you for the sub, man. Thank you very much and welcome. Welcome to the channel if it's the first time. Executable says, I'm from Ukraine. There you go. Maxim. Yeah, Maxim is a very cool name. I've always liked the name Igor. It sounds like very, very strong as well. Let's see. What was I gonna do? Oh, yes, I was gonna pop out the chat here in YouTube so that I can read this. Hector AMC says, let's go, I need to learn Blender. Oh, it's gonna be a fun one because I normally don't work inside of Blender, but Blender 5.0 just released, and yeah, we're gonna see what we have right here. Let's see, we got 3D Chick from Washington State, US. Nice. Nice. Let me send something to David real quick. Send him the image that we're going to be using. This one right here. Zap. Link here. Bam. This, there we go. Oh, what do we do here? Okay, awesome. Nice. Okay. We got some good news, guys. Some little surprises that we're about to share. We just need to wait for David to get here. And he'll help me set stuff up. You guys are gonna like it. I think you guys are gonna like it. Let's see. We got David Dolce Mascolo. That's also a great name, by the way. Like the Dolce Mascolo. What does Mascolo mean? I know Dolce is like sweet, right? Dolce, but Mascolo, does it have like a specific meaning at the bit? Because it's a very sort of like cool sounding last name there. 3D Chick says, so glad you're doing something in Blender. Can't afford ZBrush. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Artoki, saludos desde Argentina. See, from Argentina, there's one thing that I've wanted to try. Oh, hopefully I don't mess this up. But you guys have the mate, right? It's this like drink. This, I believe it's a hot drink with like some like herbs or plants or something like that. And I know they sell it here in Mexico, but I'm sure it's not as good as the one from what's the word? From you guys. I've always been curious about how it tastes. We got people from Poland, from India. Executable says Igor is my uncle's name. There you go. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe most Argentinians I think drink mate. It's like a very common like drink, I think. I'm not sure if it's like a national drink. Will you show the texturing stage? I don't think we're gonna be able to get there, to be honest. Oh, interesting. It says Mascolo is man or male in old Sicilian dialect. There were most likely two families, Dolce and Mascolo, that united hundreds of years ago. Interesting. Oh, so that last name is all together. Dolce Mascolo. Interesting. Oh, that sounds even more epic, man. Pues claro, Moscú, ¿cómo no voy a leer bien el español si yo también sé hablar español? Soy de México, brother. Obviamente sé hablar y leer el español. Creo que a la perfección. Espero que a la perfección. But normally we do the streams in English to be able to get to wider audiences. So let's see. What are we missing here? Saludos desde Querétaro Rock. Rush Storm. Saludos, mi estimado. A friend of mine brought me some mate from Uruguay. So good. But how is it bitter? Is it bitter or is it like tea? Like infused? Like I don't know if the flavor is like a really strong flavor or if it's more of a try like a soft like a soft one. Santo Padre, yo aquí saludando en español. In English. You gotta practice English, man. That's one of the things that I've said before. Especially for our industry, knowing English is like so important. It opens so many doors for you. So always try to practice your English as much as you can. That's the universe. Like, look at this. Like, look at how many people we got from all over the world, and we are all we're all communicating. Thanks, greetings from Germany. Wie geht es Ihnen, my friend? Wie geht es Ihnen? I think that's the formal way to greet someone, but I really want to go back and relearn my German. I used to have a better understanding and a better mastery of the German language. But I stopped using it, and now I forgot. So let's see. Eric Geisel. Oh, that's another great name, Eric Geisel. Hello, Ave. I really admire your work is amazing. Thank you, my friend. See, you guys know I love chess, right? Like I really like playing chess. It's one of my little addictions there. I'm not super good, but I will call myself proficient enough. And I love some of the names from like some of the top players in the chess community, like the GMs and stuff. Like there's one Indian player, Pragnanth, I think his name or his last name is. That's pretty cool. Anish, right? Anish Giri. That's another very famous like chess player. And then there's one named Eric Geise. I don't remember his name. But some of these guys, of course, Magnus Carlsen, right? Like they have some really epic names. Mia gets good. Gukesh. Yeah, that's another. He's a world champion right now, right? Mate is earthy bitter. Says we should organize chess competition during one of the live streams. That would be interesting, right? That would be interesting. I'm sure. Like there was a guy that he found me on chess.com, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing here?" And we connected as friends. He sometimes drops here on the live streams as well, and he's really good. He's like 1700 or 1800 or something like that, and he's good. Like we've had a couple of back and forths, and he's beat me a couple of times, and I think we're kind of like even on the count. But greetings from Greece. Oh, you Greeks have also great names as well. Like some of the names in Greece are very epic. Like that old Greek language, pretty nice as well. There we go. We have Sarn here. It's on the house. What's my rating? 1650 on Blitz and 1700 on Rapid. I've been stuck there for a little while. I need to study more in order if I want to get to like 1800 or something. But yeah, I'm 1600, like 1650, right around there, depending if I'm focused or not. Algeria, nice. Okay, what's up, my friends? Hello. Welcome to one of our Friday live streams. We are that's not actually good, Rohan. Like they say that I think like 1600 is when you are starting to take things a little bit seriously, but you're still like a complete noob, and it has nothing to do with like over the board like rating. So no, I wouldn't call myself like actually good, but I know some openings, some lines, some traps. It's always fun. Hello guys, hello and welcome to our Friday live stream. Today we're gonna have some fun. We have a lot of stuff to cover. So one of the first things that I wanted to do with you guys, and I mentioned this last week, and I'm gonna do this while David helps me set up something that we're gonna be announcing in a couple of minutes. But as you guys know, the Game Awards are on, right? Like people are preparing for the Game Awards, and today we're gonna vote through them. I haven't voted because I want to vote live here with you and have a little bit of discussion. Let's see what others have in mind. So let me sign in here real quick, and we're gonna vote in just a second. What's the rule for the giveaways? The giveaways are going to be as we normally do them through our Discord channel. So if you're not on the Discord channel, you should be joining right now. As soon as I get the thumbs up from David, I'll explain what the giveaway is, because we got a very cool partner today that's going to be helping us with this. Okay, so let's go. You guys wanna go with me with this in this what's the word? In this little journey to vote for all of the categories on the Game Awards? Let's see what we get. So, this is we're gonna start with a tough one, right? Game of the year. So I'm gonna tell you that I played 4 of the 5 of the 6 games that we have right here. I played Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I didn't finish it. I've played Donkey Kong Bonanza. I did finish it. I played Hades 2. I haven't finished it. I played Hollow Knight Silksong. I 100% finished this, and I haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance. To me, I think the 3 games that are in my top list would be Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And the reason why I'm mentioning Donkey Kong Bonanza is because I played this with my kid. She's 4 years old, and she enjoyed playing it like really like quite a bit. I know Clair Obscur is going to go for sort of like that goatee, and I'm gonna be honest, if I had to give it to one, I'll probably give it to Silksong. I haven't been like addicted to a game as much as I was like Clair Obscur hooked me for a while, but like Hollow Knight hooked me and didn't let go until I was like completely done. Even today, I'm like, I just want to go back and see if I'm missing anything, and I'm missing some of like the super hardcore like achievements, but I don't know, man, like this one right here. But I know like there's another like category, the indie category, so I'm gonna give the game of the year because of how much impact it had on our industry to Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I think you guys are gonna agree. So let's go right there. Next category. Best game direction. Oh, this is a good one. Oh, again, Clair Obscur. Like the only ones that I've played from this list are gonna be Hades 2 and Clair Obscur. I think the direction on Hades is beautiful. It looks amazing, but yeah, it's so unique visuals, so unique, like the music, like everything is just like so good. So in terms of like even on my laptop, I have the wallpaper, like this wallpaper right there. I have it on my laptop because I just like the visuals so much. So yeah, definitely that one right there. Best narrative. Interesting. See, I haven't finished Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I've been told that the story is really good and it gets really good at the end, but I haven't really played it. So I'm gonna have to go with that one because I have absolutely no reference from any of this others right here. There we go. Hopefully I don't just vote Expedition 33 on everything. Best art direction. Okay, art direction. Oh man. The thing is, I love the art from Hades 2. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Hades 2. I'm gonna give it to Hades 2, and the reason I'm giving best art direction to Hades 2 is because even though Expedition 33 looks and feels amazing, this to me feels more unique. And like the Expedition 33, it's a AAA or sort of like a PBR realistic game at the end of the day. Silksong we've seen before with Hollow Knight. I know Hades we've seen before with the other one, but I know that they changed things and they are now using 3D models. So it's really like the visual style of Hades is just like so cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Hades 2 in terms of art direction. Let's go with the next one. Best score and music. Can we hear it? No, because we hear it, we're gonna get like copyright strike here on the freaking stream. This is a tricky one. I'm between. I mean, there were some really good songs on the Hollow Knight, but I think I've heard more of the songs in like shorts and in general things for Expedition 33. I think Expedition 33 is just gonna like take every single prize, to be honest. Not for me, right? But I mean in the what's the word? In the Game Awards. In this one, I'm actually gonna go with the Battlefield because I haven't played it, but I know that they go really deep with their sound design, with like the sound of the guns and things like that. So I'm gonna pick that one. Best performance: Ben Starr as Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Charlie Cox, Clair Obscur Ghost of Yotei, Jennifer English Konatsukato and Troy Baker. Oh, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. You guys vote for in this one for me because I'm not sure because I haven't played all of Expedition 3D. I know who Charlie Cox is, and I think he does a fairly good job. I'm guessing Jennifer English is the actress for what's the name of the redhead? Man, I always forget her name. I'm pretty sure Ben Starr. Who's Ben Starr? Let us see, boys. Like, I don't want to spoil anything. Charlie Cox, Ben Starr, Jennifer English. Yeah, let's go with Jennifer English. Mael, right? Mael. I think she does Mael. So let's go with her. Innovation in accessibility. Interesting. South of Midnight. Oh, is this one out? I was looking to play that one because it sounded interesting. I haven't played it. Is it on PC? South of Midnight. It's on Steam, right? Is it like a Souls-like game or what is it? Yeah, I wanted to play this one. Like, the visuals were really, really freaking nice on this one. Why haven't I played this? I'm probably gonna be playing it this weekend. That looks interesting. Accessibility. I'm not really sure about accessibility, to be honest. But I'm gonna go Doom. I think I'm gonna go Doom. I know that they add a lot of like things for like there we go. Now we're voting, we're voting for the Game Awards. Games for impact, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Oh, I feel so bad about this one because again I don't have any reference from any of these ones right here. I'm gonna go with South of Midnight just because I really like the art style. Best ongoing. I don't play any of these ones, but I really like the art style for Marvel Rivals, so we're gonna go Marvel Rivals. Best community support. Best community support. What do you guys think? Helldivers? No Man's Sky is actually turning it around. Like they were a mess at the beginning of their production cycle, and now they've like very highly respected. Baldur's Gate. No Man's Sky. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. Best independent game, Silksong, by far. Like, by far. I want to play this one as well, Ball X Bit. They say it's quite fun. But Silksong is just such a good game, man. Like, if you guys... It's a hard game. Like, I almost rage quitted, like, several times. It's a really, 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 like, hard game. But it's so I don't know, captivating. I've actually went back and finished or I'm finishing right now Hollow Knight. I did the first ending, and it's so different. Like it feels like the change in quality in terms of like the combat and the intensity and the exploration. Like everything's so polished in Silksong. Hollow Knight is a great game, by the way. If you haven't played it, definitely go and check that one out as well. But I can now definitely see how much difference there is between the games. So yeah, definitely Silksong for me. Like totally. Best debut indie game. I've heard this patch is really good. I've heard it's really freaking good. I haven't seen it. It's a like a narrative story, right? But I've heard that it's really freaking good. But I'm gonna give it to Clair Obscur. I mean, come on, this guy's. See, that's an interesting thing, Ghost Prophet. I was looking at this discussion on Reddit, and people were saying like, yeah, technically, Clair Obscur is an indie game because it's a small studio, but the budget that they had is like really big. I'm not sure exactly about the budget that they're using, but they are like quite high in terms of the amount of money compared to something like Silksong or compared to some of the other ones. So it's more like a AA thing, maybe not a AAA. So it feels a little bit weird. Here, I haven't played any of these ones. Normally Genshin is here, and I normally vote for Genshin because that's the one that I play every now and then. But I'm gonna go probably with the closest thing that I would play. I haven't played it, to be honest. I did download it, but it was like a little bit too time consuming, so I just didn't continue. So let's go Wuthering Waves. How can you find time to play games? This field consumes a lot of your time. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I've been playing a lot of like Switch 2 games because that's what I can do when I'm just like laying in my bed at night, right after everyone goes to sleep. I can just play for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, and that's it. Let's see. Best VR AR. See, interestingly enough, even though I do a lot of VR stuff, I haven't played any of this ones right here. I'm gonna go with Alien. That seems like a scary one. Best action game. Oof. I think Doom. Doom for action game. Best action adventure. Definitely Silksong. Definitely Silksong. Best RPG. Oh man, it's so sad to see. See, I love Monster Hunter, and I think Monster Hunter Worlds is a great game, but it did not land the landing, right? Like it's still not polished. They say they're gonna finish polishing it this next month, or like at least start like heavily polishing it in terms of performance. It's a great game. It's really cool, but yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Clear Obscure again. Best fighting game. Ooh, I did try 2XKO. It was really freaking good, but it was very difficult. Like, I'm not used to tag fighters, so I was having a lot of hard times. But I'm gonna give it to them. I love just like Riot and their style, so I'm gonna give it to 2XKO. Best family game. Oh man, this is so good. Donkey Kong Bonanza, just like amazing. If you guys have a Switch 2 and you want to play something with your family, again, like I played this with my kid, had such a great time. So it's such a magical game, this one for me. I haven't tried the other one. I know there's a Split Fiction, but for me this one right here is just like so good. Best simulation strategy. I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy. I haven't played this one, but I heard it's really good. My brother did play it, and it's one of his favorite games of all time. So he played it back in the day. So I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy Tactics. Next year we're gonna have Fire Emblem there, and it's definitely gonna win. I heard that Sonic Racing Crossworlds is really good, but the only one that I play is Mario Kart, so I'm gonna go with Mario Kart. There we go. How many more? We have like 7 more, 6 or 7 more. Best multiplayer. Oh, they say Arc Raiders is really nice. I haven't played it, to be honest. I haven't played it. I'm not a huge fan of shooters. The thing with shooters is I need to be on my computer to play shooters, right? You know, like keyboard and mouse. So controller shooters, it's difficult. Peak was also a good one, right? Like it got a lot of like things, like a lot of like shorts and stuff. Let's see. In support of indie studios, I'm gonna give it to Peak. Best adaptation. I'm gonna give it to the Minecraft movie. I know it's a meme at this point, but I mean, come on. They did something that not a lot of movies do, which is make a lot of money with a video game IP. So I feel like that's something to recognize. And I did enjoy seeing a lot of the crazy memes in TikTok every now and then. Most anticipated game. Oh, this one's a tough one, guys. Oh my god. Is Witcher 4 coming out next year? Is it 2026 or is it 2027? Yeah, I think GTA is going to win. But I hate GTA, to be honest. I don't like the concept. I don't like the gameplay. I don't like GTAs, to be honest. So I'm gonna go with The Witcher 4 as well. I'm definitely gonna go with The Witcher 4. There we go, and we got 4 more. Content Creator of the Year. I feel so bad because I don't know any of these guys right here. I've seen Moist Critical every now and then. The thing is, I don't know. This is a weird one. This guy seems like a nice guy, so I'm gonna go with that guy. Again, I don't usually watch a lot of this like content creators. Best esports game. Dota 2, Counter-Strike, League of Legends, or Valorant. I'm gonna go League of Legends. Like they're continuously like so top notch, right? I think didn't Faker win like the tournament like this year? Oh, there we go. There we go. The freaking best esports athletes. Oh, there's no Faker? Interesting. Counter-Strike, Street Fighter, Valorant, League of Legends. I'm gonna give it to this guy. This is the only guy I remember from like back in the day where I played a little bit of Street Fighter, so I'll give it to him. Best esports team, Gen G, NRG, Team Falcons, Team Liquid, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang. The hell is that? I'm gonna give it to this guys right here, Gen G. And last but not least, Players Voice. What's this? Oh, okay. It's another round, by the way. It's not open yet. There we go. So yeah, that's it. Look at all the categories. So this one was the most contentious one, right? Like Game of the Year. Such a tough spot. Like, if I could give it to one, I would give it to Donkey Kong Bonanza because it was just so fun. But I know that's not gonna win. Like, there's no way that Donkey Kong Bonanza wins a Game of the Year. It's just not in this universe. But it's a really good game, guys. Like, it's thoroughly enjoyable, and the story's good, the gameplay is good. It's a fun one. Sculpting again, one of my other goatees of the year. I don't think I've been hooked to a game this bad since, like, I don't know, some of the older Fire Emblems or something. Like, I just played so much of this one. Even my kid was like, "You're playing that again, Dad?" And it's like, yeah, I need to finish this. I need to really go through this whole thing. So yeah, that's it, my friends. That is it. That's activity number 1 here for today's stream. We're gonna have a couple more activities. So the next activity that I'm going to announce, it's a very cool one because we actually have. Let me go full screen real quick. So as you guys know, we like to partner with cool companies, cool services, people who make great stuff for our industry, right? And one of those companies that we've collaborated with in the past reached out to us and they told us, "Hey, let's do one more collaboration here for your community." And it's one of the most, I would say, a little bit underrated things that we can do as artists, because even though I mention this all the time, we sometimes forget to do it. And what I'm talking about is, of course, references, my friends. References. So 3DSK, we've worked with them before. They're an amazing company. They have so much information on their sites. They have models, 3D scans, 3D assets, texture packs, like so many things. Look at this, guys, right here. Some HDI textures for your characters. Like, all of these things right here are amazing for any type of character or any type of creature that we want to create for our portfolios. I've used them in a lot of my projects before, and right now they're having their Black Friday sale. So if you want to get some credits to buy some of the content that they have right here, it's amazing. It's like genuinely amazing. I'm gonna share with you one of the things that I like doing with the like credits that I get. I like going to things like this ones right here, to the morph scans, and you can get yourself some of these scans, download them, open them in ZBrush with textures and everything, and then just study the forms. I like to study the forms of the faces, the forms of expressions, where are the wrinkles, how deep they are, and it's a lot easier to see it on an actual, like, real high quality scan than it is to try to do it with just like images or references. So if you're doing a character as well, like you're gonna see a little bit of a surprise that I have over the next couple of months. But if you're doing a character as well, you can use a lot of these guys as a base mesh and then just modify them, change them a little bit, and just like create like really cool stuff. So 3DSK, as I mentioned, is having their Black Friday sale, so you can get some credits for yourself and use them for your research, for your textures, for your study, for anything that you want in your production pipeline. And here's the cool thing. They're giving away credits for some lucky winners of you, my friends. So these are a total of 350 credits. Just as an example, a normal image, a high quality image like this, like eye textures that we were looking at, these are 1 credit, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just confirm before I say any lie here. So yeah, like, let's say we want to use this texture right here for one of our characters. There you go. So it's 1 credit. So you can download 350 of this ones. You can see they're like massive, more than 4K pixels in terms of resolution. So you can get so much information from this guys right here. And it's just 1 credit. So if you win, you're going to get 350 credits. If you go for some of the other like assets, so for instance, if you go for some 3D assets, let's take a look at this like raw hand scans right here. They are a little bit pricier, but once you buy them, again, you can use them for as many things as you want. So for instance, let's say you get like this hand right here. right? These are 40 credits. It's the 3D scan data of this hand, and you can incorporate this into your character. You can post it. You can, again, do whatever you want. So it's a really, really good like tool. We are going to be setting up the giveaway inside of the Discord channel. Let me show you real quick for those of you that are new to the stream how this works. So you're going to go to our Discord, and over here on the, where is it? No, this board, there's going to be an events tab. And here on the events tab, there you go. Like David already set this up. We have this giveaway bot. You just need to click on this little guy right here, and that's going to enter your username into the giveaway. So in 20 minutes, we are going to know who is the winner for the first pack of 350 credits from our good friends here at 3DSK, who, as I mentioned before, are having their sale right now. This is one of those things that if you invest on it, you're going to get so much back in return. Like, look at this. Like the A poses right here, references for A poses. If you're going to do a realistic character, let me just move this aside because sometimes there is nudity. Just be aware of that. There is nudity in this site. There's a lot of information, so you might get you might need to clean it up a little bit. But yeah, there you go. Look at this. So look at all of these references. You can use these images to texture the character, by the way, because the resolution is just so freaking good. So yeah, best way to study, get really good references. Yes and no, Kepkes. As I mentioned, it's really good for references. It also has 3D scans. And there's one more thing that I forgot to mention. They have this thing right here. It's called the portal. So this is the main site. 3DSK is the main site, but they actually have 5 more sites. Environment for, you can see them right there. Environment photo references, female anatomy for artists, human anatomy for artists, 3D tutorials, and reference for comic book artists. So for instance, if I look 3DSK environment, where is it? Here, environment art. Is it this one? No. What's the name of it? It has a different name. Home. Black Friday sale. Portal. Sign up. Let me see if I can see it right here. Yeah, there we go. It's this one. Environment/textures.com. So if you go to environment/textures.com, there's a lot of reference for environments as well. So if you get or if you win any of the packs of credits they're going to be giving away, you can use them for any of these sites right here. Photo references, human anatomy, 3D scans, female anatomy, and environment textures. Again, like super cool. So yeah, check this one out. Oh, one more thing. If you go to 3DSK, it's another great thing. They have these blogs which have like interviews with artists and they share like a lot of their techniques and their processes. So again, this is what I tell you guys. Like, you need to learn how to learn, right? And one of the ways to learn is by doing your research. So look at this one right here. Ahmed Wafdi, who did this amazing Vilbo character. And they share a lot of stuff. They share some breakdowns. They share some information. They share some of like their sculpts and their processes. So it's a great way to learn more about like the production pipeline. But that's not it. What I was going to show you is that they do have some, let me just make sure that there's no nudity here, but they do have some free assets that you can download. So you just need to sign up to the site, and there are some free assets that you can download. There you go. So there's 3D groom scans, like actual like 3D scans, reference picture, textures, head. So all of the things that you see right here, these are on the free like part of the site. You can download them. So just click on this like free option. So yeah, that's it. We are going to be giving away 5. Is it 5, David, or is it 4? 5, right? Yes, 5 packages of 350 credits for you, my friends. So make sure to join the Discord. Make sure to go to the little place that I mentioned. And yeah, we're good to go. We are good to go. Let's see. It says game topic going on, misleading live stream by thumbnail. No, we're gonna get into that just yet, my friend. It's just that we had a lot of announcements to do before the actual work. But now we jump into the 3D work. So this is it. As you guys know, also Blender just released Blender 5.0, and there's a lot of new things, a lot of very cool information here for Blender. We've been like supporters of Blenders. I know that there's people that want 3D softwares to fight against each other, but the thing is, like, you can do all of the stuff in a lot of different softwares, and having a free option like Blender, it's a great one. Someone asked me this question yesterday, like, hey, I want to start 3D. Should I start straight into ZBrush and straight into Maya? my completely honest answer is no. Just download Blender. Download Blender. Try it out. Try doing some of the like exercises. I have an exercise, for instance, where we do a barrel, and you learn like the basics of the software about modeling and things like that. So just learn it. Just try it out. And if you like 3D, then you can start specializing in some of the other softwares, right? Because they are quite important. One of the big things that they did for this new release is this new ACES. So in Blender 5.5 or 5.0, one of the big things that they are doing is this big change on the color thing. You do need a good monitor to be able to appreciate all of the differences, and this has to do a little bit more with production stuff. More often than not, if you're just doing renders for your portfolio, you're not going to be like using too many of these things right here, but it's really good that the color is getting like way better. There's new changes to the night like function. This one right here I really like. I want to try this out. It's called radial tiling, which you feed it a nice tileable texture and it creates a nice radius. Of course, the center is all distorted, but you can always sort of like add a cap there or something to sort of like hide it. So it's a good way to do it. And then of course, one of the things that they improved on is the where is it right here? More renders or like better render times. All of these compositor things. They added some like geometry nodes and stuff. So in general, it's a really good like improvement, I would say. Especially if you do most of your wire or your workflow inside of Blender, like having all of this like new tools is just like amazing. And usually when they do a big number update, it tends to be like a long-term support. So you're gonna be able to work on it for a little bit. Like they're gonna be supporting and fixing bugs and everything like quite frequently. Bato Machinsote says, I'm now on the BFX Masters in Spain. You're still one of the best teachers I've had. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We also had Franny here. Morning and happy Friday. Happy Friday, Franny. Happy to see you here. Let's see. Can you update Blender or do you need to delete and download the new version? No, you need to. You can download multiple versions. Like, for instance, here I have Blender 4.5, Blender 4.4, and Blender 5.0. So all of these are quite cool. There's a very cool thing about the new Blender, and that's the fact that they now, if you go here to Edit and Preferences, if you go to this one, Display Graphics, a lot of softwares are changing to Vulkan as their GPU backend, and it's like, on my experience, it does tend to be a little bit faster than other engines, but there's also a little bit of an effect. One second. One second. There we go. So let's see. This version doesn't work in my Mac OS Sonoma. Oh, that sucks, man. I don't use Mac, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. So yeah, as you can see, the display graphics now can use Vulkan, and I did try this yesterday. So this is just like a normal cube. Let's go to sculpting. Let's do remesh, and I'm going to go like a very low number. Sorry if the stream freezes a little bit. So right now we're at 2,600 like faces. Let's remesh. There we go. So now we're at 6 million points. 6 million points. And one of the things that I always like hated about Blender was the fact that the sculpting felt, a little bit like slow when working with high levels of poly count. But in this case, as you can see, we're at 6 million polygons, and the sculpting is working perfectly fine, right? So I know I have a strong computer, but I also tried this on my laptop, which is like a very sort of like old laptop. It's actually like a 6 or 7 year old laptop, and I did get a little bit of a better performance, especially here in the sculpting. So you can see how smooth my sculpting gets, even though we're working at like a 6 million points. So it's not dragging or anything. So yeah, this is an improvement. They did add the Vulkan stuff on some of the previous versions. I think they've been adding it since like 4.4 or something like that. But this is 5.0. So yeah. How do you create 3D art when you have a potato laptop like me, 16 gigs RAM and 1050 Ti, no money to upgrade? You try to optimize as much as you can, Rohan. Like that's the unfortunate situation. And I've mentioned this before. Unfortunately, in terms of 3D work, having a more powerful computer, it's not going to make you a better artist, but it's going to make it a lot more comfortable to work with, because you're going to be able to push things into bigger elements. I love you, Ave, and I love you too, random YouTube commenter, Sabo7649. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Krogmancer says, oh man, Blender sculpting has so much potential, but nobody's giving it the attention it deserves like Pablo did. Yeah, it's really good. I still feel way more comfortable, and I'm more used to a lot of the tools that I have inside of ZBrush, but it's still like a really good, like a really good tool. Let's see. Bill just says, "Hey, Ave, I wanted to ask you something. I'm thinking of buying Topogun, specifically for its auto-read feature to speed up my workflow. Do you think it's worth getting?" Yes, but not for the auto-read topology. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad. It's actually a very nice one. However, the like real power of Topogun is how fast it is in doing the precision read topology that you need. So like the drawing, the tubes tool, the quad draw, like there's a lot of like tools that you manually use. Those are the big ones. If you're thinking about auto-read topology, to be honest, Siri Measure instead of ZBrush is really good. I know there's a plugin for Blender from the same guys that did the Siri Measure, and they're gonna give you like automatic read topology. So I would probably go with one of those. Dude Davis says, "Hey Ave, do you have any videos on how to texture a 3D object in like GIMP or Photoshop?" I don't, but it's very similar to the 3D code videos that I have. The only difference between 3D code and Photoshop is that one is 2D and the other one is 3D. 6 and what was that? 6 and 7? What the hell is 6, 7? Are you one of those, man? I now I remember. Yeah, it's one of those like weird things that young people do nowadays, right? Like the 6, 7 stuff. Yeah, 6, 7, whatever. What do you think about ZBrush 2026 updates? I am excited. I'm excited, especially because of the retopology features, actually. So the retopology features and the new UI, it's a good one, to be honest. It's a meme. Yeah, I don't get it either, but it's a meme. That's the nature of memes, right? Anyway, so today, my friends, as you saw on the thumbnail, we're going to be working on this. And this is one of those things that I recommend. If you're trying to do a project, one of the best places you can look for reference, other than, of course, our good friends at 3DSK, who are having their Black Friday sale right now, is go to the museum collections. A lot of museums, this is from the Met, have photos of a lot of like really cool objects, swords, helmets, pieces of armor, statues, and look at this. We have a perfect side view of this helmet. We have a perfect front view or back view of this helmet. Another side view of the helmet, right? Like close-ups of the texture and the details. Like you're not gonna get anything better than these things right here. Like we even have like the engraving that they use to mark this helmet. So when you're trying to look for a project, trying to replicate or do one of these things it's a great way to do it. So I'm gonna do this on the desktop. This is gonna be called helmet scythe. And I'm going to go for the front view, which is this one right here. And we're going to save this image as helmet front. There we go. Let's see. Auction sites also have great reference pictures. Oh, I didn't know about that. I don't know any like good auction sites, to be honest. But yeah, that can definitely work. So yeah, let's go here to, of course, our front view. No, that's the back view. Let's go there, front view, Shift A, and we're just gonna add an image, reference image, which, by the way, I think there's now an option. I saw this. I'm not sure if this is from the new Blender, but there's now an option where you can literally just like drag and drop the image. Yeah, there we go. And it's gonna go straight into the viewport, so that's pretty cool. You just like grab it and that's it. Now, as you can see, this helmet is not perfectly symmetrical. I'm gonna be focusing more on the right side of this helmet because this is the more so like straight line. This one feels a little bit crooked, so I'm gonna be focusing on this thing right here. I'm gonna rotate a little bit so that's as like centered as possible. There we go. And then we're gonna go to the side view, and we're gonna bring in the side helmet right here. Now on the perspective view. Oh, where are they? Oh, this is one of the things that I don't like. The fact that sometimes the image only shows... There we go. I need to click on the image and then go to the image properties and select perspective as well so that we can see them on both the perspectives. So here what I want to make sure is that they match on the side as much as possible. But let's do opacity. Ah, interesting. This is interesting. I didn't know that that we were gonna get like a different view here. Okay, so this one right here, I need to scale it a little bit lower. Something I write. Side both. Ah, there we go. Thank you, Alan. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Side both. This is really interesting. Like the thing that I'm finding quite interesting is this thing right here where you rotate the camera and it sort of hides the image if it's not being seen. It's really, really, really cool. Nice. Anyway, so it's gonna get a little bit tricky to try to match this, but here's what I would do. I'm just gonna go to the front view here, and I'm gonna create the first cylinder. So the first cylinder is gonna go from this point right here to this point right here. So I'm gonna press Shift A, mesh, and I'm gonna create a cylinder. Let's scale this down, and again, I'm gonna find like the 2 points, right? Like that point right there and that point right there. And I'm just gonna keep it as straight as possible right here. Let's scale this a little bit on C. That's it. Now, if I go to the right view, right? Of course, I need to grab this image, and I'm gonna push it back so we can actually see the cylinder. There we go. And yeah, there we go. So we're on the right size. So as you can see, it's matching with the proper height of the whole thing. Let's see. What is the root? What is the place? And why is it maybe that would make both of them? No, it's fine. It's fine. We just need to find this thing right here. So this is this is a relatively simple asset, and one of the things that I wanted to show you in this live stream is how to make like in this case hard surface stuff or metallic stuff, or not metallic, like armor stuff that looks really, really nice. So I'm gonna start by just getting these things right here, going into vertex mode in wireframe mode, and I'm gonna start pushing these vertices forward, right? Like it's important that we do this in vertex mode, because we need to do on both sides of the element. We could also just like delete one of the elements and reuse it. Oh, let's just wait. That's one right there. Give me 1 second here. You know what? Let's go into solid mode, and let's delete this face right here. So goodbye face. Goodbye face. Actually, now that I think of it, it might be a lot easier if we just delete the faces here. That way we just focus on one side of the element, and after we're done with this side, we can go to the next one. So let's go to vertex mode, and there we go. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to match the curvature of the helmet. And of course, I'm going to match it first on this back view right here. And then we're going to go to the front view, and we're going to start sort of like matching it. This is one way to do it. There's multiple ways to do it. Some people might use like a deformer, like a lattice or something like that. All of the options are like usually valid. It really depends on which tool you feel more comfortable using. And one of the things that I'm going to do as soon as I have this thing sort of like properly laid out is I'm going to add some edge loops on the center to capture the proper curvature. There we go. So now if we go to the front view, or rather to like the 3/4 view, you're going to see that, hey, we have a big of a problem, right? Like the very, very big problem where this thing is not exactly where it needs to be. So I'm going to go to the front view again. Roman-san, what's up, my friend? And we're going to start using this wireframe here to push this guys up. Let's go wireframe. There we go. I'm trying to move some of these elements, sort of like relax them a little bit. Get a better distribution of the whole thing. A sort of like rule of thumb that we want to do or have when doing like poly modeling is that the distance between the edges and everything should be, you know, relatively uniform. It doesn't have to be perfectly uniform, but relatively uniform always helps. There we go. Now, for instance, here is where we need to start using a little bit of our logic and be like, okay, this curvature right here doesn't feel right, correct? So a lot of this points right here, we're going to have to push. Let's go to the top view, actually. And what we want to have is we want to have sort of like a round effect going around the helmet. I wish we had a top view of the helmet. I don't think we have. So we're going to have to sort of like improvise here a little bit. We can't move this too much though, because we already have the sort of like the control or like the proper distance on our main view, right? And this again, this is like traditional poly modeling stuff. Okay, yeah, like that. Push this out. Just clean it up a little bit there. Why doesn't he use loop tools to relax the edges? Seems from practical. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. So now we're gonna go and add, for instance, an edge loop right there. And once we have that, we can again go to wireframe and just start like moving some of these guys, right? Like that. Start creating the curvature that we would expect to see here on the helmet. And then we can add another one And again, just grab some of these edge loops and give the proper curvature here. Let's adjust some of this guys right here. A lot of this thing I would normally do with sculpting, but I'm forcing myself to sort of like poly model this like we used to do back when I started. When I started, like a lot of the sculpting tools were not as good as what we have right now. So this was way more common. There we go. There we go. I betrayed Maya, right? What's up, my friend, Roma? It's YX. Just push this down. Okay, this is getting there. It's not perfect, but it's definitely getting there. Getting like the basic shape of the whole thing. Definitely a couple of points that we need to clean. I'm gonna mirror this, so I'm gonna go modifier, generate and mirror. There you go. Oh, first of all, we need to. Oh, no! What did I do? Hi from Russia. Thanks for your videos. Very useful. Thank you, my friend. This is not. No. I'm not the I'm doing like very archaic methods right now for modeling. There's people who are way faster at modeling than I am. Let's go here. I'm gonna grab all of this guys, scale X0, and then I'm gonna turn on this guy right here. Go for a grid, a GX to make sure that it's right there on the grid. That should be it. Now we can mirror. Where is it? Generate, mirror, and I'm gonna hit apply. Cool. So what I'm gonna do now, again, because I feel a little bit more comfortable with the sculpting tools, is I'm gonna jump into sculpting. And instead of the sculpting, now that I have a relatively clean mesh, we can of course turn on symmetry here on X and just start smoothing stuff, right? Again, this is one way to do this. I'm just gonna start smoothing this, and I'm gonna use my move brush. Where is it? Is this the one? No, that's the grab brush. Yeah, let's go with that sort of like soft grab. Let's make the size a little bit bigger, and we're gonna start like pushing this thing to get the proper curvature, pretty much. Oh, we got the first giveaway winner. Congratulations. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I got completely distracted with this. As you guys know, we're giving away 350 credits to 3DSK, one of the best sites for references. And the first winner is D. D, congratulations, my friend. You are the first winner. I will be reaching out to you after the, after the live stream is done, and I'll send you a code that you can use to redeem and get your credits. Okay, we are gonna have our second giveaway in just a second. Yeah, or I think is it ready? Yeah, it's ready. So the next giveaway is ready. You guys can go into the Discord and click on that one. BFX Prime says, "You're a great artist. I love your videos." Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really try my best to give you guys the best kind of information that I can. So yeah, as you can see, because we have relatively clean topology, it's a lot easier to go here into sculpting and just like clean up the borders here to really give us the proper like curvature that we might want. We need to make sure that we don't go across the borders or vertices that we have. But it's a little bit easier here to just play around with fewer points, right? We're gonna jump into sculpting in just a second. Don't worry, because I know people are like, "Oh, this looks like shit." Yeah, I know. It's part of the process. You need to trust the process and understand that we need to start with very simple things first, and then we start adjusting things and making them look even better. So right now it's just the general shape of the helmet. I don't mind, to be honest, right now to have a little bit of imperfections on the curvature of the helmet. I feel like this can give it a little bit more history, right? Because a very common mistake with 3D stuff is that it tends to look way too perfect. So being able to add a little bit of that imperfection back with some of this like bumps and some of like this unrelaxed elements, I think it's a handy thing to have. Keep in mind that this is something that eventually is going to go through a retopology process. So that's why I don't mind having like dirty topology or bad topology at first. or in these early stages, because I know I'm gonna be optimizing this later on for games. So this is mostly about getting a very nice looking like high poly first. So something like that. Let's really sharpen this, clean it up. There we go. And this is the most important part. Like if we can nail this thing, like if we can find like the proper quality and the proper like elements for this like lower part, everything else is just going to be so much easier, because a lot of the other ones like all of the bolts, the hinges, all of those things are easy. Even the cab right there is relatively easy compared to this like neck piece right here. Okay, now we need to go back into modeling to adjust a couple of things before we jump into sculpting. Let me show you. Sky Sculpt says, only knowing Maya, only know build better. Yeah, I think if you're a Maya user, and I think it's worth it to learn Blender, to be honest. And if you're a Blender user, I think it's worth it to learn a little bit of Maya. The reason is you never know what kind of project you're going to be working on. So sometimes they're going to require you to know certain like softwares or some elements that you might not be as familiar with. And just having the option is really good. Now, as we've mentioned before, like the fact that Blender is free is just so freaking amazing, to be honest. So everyone should learn it just because it's free. And if anything happens in the future, like I don't know, Autodesk goes bankrupt or they end up being like a super evil organization or something, and everyone stops using them, well, you're gonna have to quickly jump to another like 3D software, and Blender's probably going to be the best option at that point. Thanos says, hello, sir. I'm a game developer student, but I also watch your videos to know the art perspective of the games. Thanks a lot to give this... thank you, my friend. Exactly, Devil. Like, this will have, like, a little bit of that. Let's go back to layout. There we go. So, as you can see, it was way easier to adjust a lot of those things in the layout department. Now, I want to sort of like straighten the upper edge a little bit here. So I'm going to go to edge mode, grab this whole edge right here. And I'm going to go to the side view. I'm going to scale on Y. Sorry, scale on Z. Sort of like flatten it, 0. There we go. And I'm just going to hit R to rotate it. And just, oh, I have the snapping. Just move it a little bit, rotate it again, move it a little bit. Rotate again, mainly because I want to have it like a very sort of like straight element. Oh, there we go, something like that. And you can see that on the front, this helmet is very sharp. This is very important. It's a basic sort of like what's the word? It's a basic like modeling thing. But if we want an edge to be a little bit sharper, we need to add a support edge right there. I'm gonna add another modifier here. I'm gonna add another mirror modifier, and I'm gonna say bisect on X or like that. Let's hit apply. Hit apply. There we go. So that when we add the smooth modifier, right, the generate, and we're going to add, of course, the subdivision surface modifier, that's going to give me a sharp edge right there on the front of the helmet. And this next part, my friends, this is so important. If there's one part that I want you to pay attention to in terms of this like high poly stuff, is the next one right here. If we want to make this thing look very, very interesting, we need to think of this in the way it was built. Please, like, look at how the thing was built. So what do I see right here? I see that there's a line going down the middle, right? So one of the things that I'm going to do is, actually, let me stop this thing right here, is I'm going to go to this line right here, this one right here, and actually, let's go to the opposite side because we're going to be mirroring. So it's this one right here, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bevel that line. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of a bevel to that line right there. Wait, why am I getting like weird duplicate elements there? What happened here? Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back. No, that was fine. Now I went way back then. Way more back than I wanted. The scale Z 0. And then scale C 0. Scale Z 0. There we go. Click. Then rotate. There we go. Okay. Well, let's keep things simple here. Let's add a line right there. It's going to be my support edge. Let's go here. Wireframe. Grab all of the faces. And we're going to delete the faces. There we go. And here's what I want to do. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to this line right here, to the sideline, which is, in this case, this one right here. I'm going to select that line, and I'm going to bevel it. If I bevel it, there you go. We should get those faces right there. I'm going to have a very, very small bevel. This is very, very important. So very small bevel, something like that. I'm going to delete those faces, right? Why? Why am I doing that? Because now when I do my my mirror, right? And I'm going to apply this. And when I do my subdivision surface, or actually I'm going to do a solidify first, I'm going to give this a little bit more thickness, right? So this is, again, a very common thing. When you're doing hard surface stuff, you always want to make them a little bit thicker than they actually are inside of the in the real world. Because when they're inside of the game, if you make them like razor thin or very, very thin, it becomes very, very difficult to see. Like, you get a lot of like anti-aliasing stuff. So making things just a little bit chunkier than they would be on the real world, it's a good way to get a nicer effect like this one right here. And that's it. Now we can, of course, apply that as well. And let's add another modifier here, a subdivision surface modifier. Now, in order to avoid this horrible looking thing right there, of course, we need to either add support edges or beveled borders. I'm just going to add a support edge. It's probably the easiest or fastest. I'm just going to do that right there, that right there, that right there, and that right there. One on the bottom. Let's do a couple on the bottom, actually. Actually, that's fine. One on the bottom, and then I'm going to do one right here and one right here. There we go. So as you can see, we get the sort of like the basic construction of our helmet right here. I will modify the existing, but yeah. That's right. Like, I personally prefer to make these things a little bit more permanent. I'm going to give it one more subdivision level, and then I'm going to make this permanent. So I'm going to apply. So there we go. Now we have this resolution, and now we can go to the sculpting section. And this is where the fun starts, because what we can do is not only can we continue using our move brush, for instance, to adjust the shape of the whole thing, but because we have more geometry, we can get like a little bit of a better effect. I do like, again, a little bit of that sort of like dented effect that we're getting. So that's great. And here, we can try using the multi-resolution approach. So I'm going to add a modifier. I'm going to add the multi-resolution. And on the sculpt, subdivide 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So we're at almost 1 million polygons, right? And it's looking fine. Like, we're getting a nice sort of like sharp line right there, similar to what we're getting on the concept, but we can make this even better. So I'm going to start by going into my flatten brush. Where are my tools? Where did my tools go? Here, there we go. And what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start adding, a little bit of volume here. So for instance, here, this planar effect. See how I'm adding like a couple of bumps. I always like using my clay buildup for like the clay strips, to be honest. So one of the things that I want to do here is I just want to start adding a little bit of variation to the surface. Like, I don't want the surface to look perfectly like perfect. Like, I want to sort of like break it up a little bit. Let's see. Thank you for all the knowledge you share with us. You're an amazing resource for the 3D community. You're welcome, my friend. I'm glad I'm glad that's the case. Like, the last thing that I would like to be is like something bad for the community, right? So I'm glad that the information that I'm providing is helping you. For instance, actually, you know what? Should we remesh? I think we should remesh. So let's try R. Let's try here. We need to apply this thing right here because we cannot do both. I'm gonna, let's go here. Modeling. Apply. Go back to sculpting. And I'm just gonna do a remesh. But I'm gonna have to do this at a way lower resolution. It's joining stuff. Actually, I think we're gonna have to split this guys into 2 parts. So to do that, I'm gonna have to go to edit mode, and then go to face mode. Then there's a way to select all of them. Oh, I always forget what the shortcut is. to select all of the faces. Anyone remembers what that one is? Yeah, the something's been applied. That's fine. L, yeah, link. That's right. L, linked. And then I'm gonna hit right click and we're gonna split. Oh, we're going or separate. Just a selection. There we go. So now that this selection is separated, we should be able to jump into sculpt mode and remesh this thing. Actually went to the other one. This guy right here. And remesh. Hey. Why is it not selecting the proper one? I am in sculpt mode. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Sorry. Had the wrong option right there. Remesh. Let's definitely increase this. So I'm going to do 0.001. 0.001. And remesh. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. This is kind of like splitting in subtools. Pretty much the exact same thing. Oh my god. 44 million polygons. Okay, no, that was way too much. I exaggerated there. So 0.01 instead. Oh, you saw that. 44 million polygons, and yes, my computer was chugging a little bit more, but it wasn't that bad. I don't like Dino Topo, Deviant. That's just a personal preference. Like I don't like Dino Topo. So here I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sharpen this border a little bit more. Trim. There we go. Giving it a couple more hits. Okay, careful there. Oh no. So this is why you need to get used to a lot of the tools here, because I'm more used to ZBrush. I just need to practice a little bit more in here. Yeah, I like that one. That's a good little like chunk there that we're taking out. There we go. So I'm gonna start adding a little bit of like surface detail here by adding that. I'm not following the reference perfectly, by the way. The reference was just there as a guide point. So I'm gonna go here, and then there's one that I saw. Which one was it? Layer, fill deepest. It's this one, flatten contrast. I'm gonna use flatten contrast to really like sharpen the border of this dent right here. And remember, this is all about how it looks from afar in this case, right? Let's give it a little bit of a smooth to remove all of that. Like, look right there. So it's not just to Blender, Chad, calm down. Yeah, no, I am used to Blender. Like, I use Blender, but I don't use it. Especially sculpting, I don't sculpt in Blender too much. I just want to show you some of the new features that we have here in Blender 5.0. But if you want to see some of my other sculpting stuff, ZBrush. ZBrush is the way to go. Yeah, let's go here. No, I want to do it in Blender. I need to practice Blender. I could jump it. This is the thing. Like, this is a very important thing about art in general. You want to get out of your comfort zone. Like, try to get out of your comfort zone every now and then, either with a new software or a new like style or a new like pipeline or workflow. You need to get out of your comfort zone, because if you're always doing the exact same thing, you're not learning, you're not improving. And learning or seeing what you can do in other softwares, for instance, in this case inside of Blender, gives me more information, and it's actually, it can even make me a better ZBrush artist, because I'm going to be able to use some of the tools inside of ZBrush a little bit better than what I'm doing right here. So even though, yes, right now, like if I was doing this for efficiency, I'm going to be completely honest. Like if this is for an actual like job or whatever, I would definitely do it inside of ZBrush, because as you guys mentioned, I'm a little bit faster there. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with trying new things and just experimenting a little bit here and there. Ratch Those Art says, been watching your videos on TikTok, really want to up my texturing game. Well, if you want to up your texturing game, we have the Substance Painter course on our site. That's like probably the best way to start into texturing. We also have hand painted stuff It was funny. I was looking at my portfolio like the other day, and I realized, hey, you know what? Like unintentionally, this became my like stylized year because I did a lot of like hand painted stuff this year and a lot of like cartoon and like my style like definitely shifted from more like realistic and PBR ready stuff into like hand painted and stylized elements. It's just fun. It was fun to see that contrast. I feel like when those like singers, one of our favorite like singers and artists, they tried like something very experimental, right? But I've actually enjoyed this journey, the hand painted journey quite a bit. Let's see. How do you manage trying new things and also waiting for the tools to be reliable? I just try them out. If they don't work, they don't work. And I just go back to the things that I know work. So it's about not being afraid or scared about, like doing this kind of things. Now here, it's interesting. We have a little bit of a bump here. And that's a very interesting bump. So I'm going to go here in my clay brush. I'm going to sculpt that bump. Where's the back face masking in these things? Do you guys know? Do we have back face masking? There has to be a back face masking, right? Where is that located? Brush texture. Shift F? Shift F is the back face masking? No. Shift S is what I should do right now. Should save this thing. Save this as a helmet. There you go. Brush has some sort of stylish rules. What pen tablet do I use? I'm using a Huion Canvas 19 Pro. It's a 4K display. Really freaking good, to be honest. Mask up in the left. Mask. There. No, but I want to know if the brush has the option to automatically mask the back part of the elements. Like, I know I could just draw a mask. Tool, advanced, front faces only. Tool, advanced. Oh, there you go. Thank you, my friend. There you go. Front faces only. Awesome. That's exactly what I was looking for. See, this is why having a community is so cool. You learn all the time. So I'm gonna add again this little like bump that we have right there. It's like a plane. Congratulations, Robner CGI. You are the proud owner now of 350 credits for our good friends 3DSK. You're going to be able to get some amazing reference. I'm telling you guys, like the reference that you can get, it's really freaking good. I've been using that for a project that I'm preparing for you guys, actually, and it's really freaking good. Like, I can see how my skills, like, really got way better with when I started using that. Let's do it again. Front faces only. Front faces only. There we go. So we want to really blend this guy right here. Especially this one right here. Because it needs to look like casted metal, right? Like someone actually hammered this thing right here. Also, I think you already know, but you can press R and check for... Yeah, the R for the remeshing, that one I do know. Teamwork makes the dream work. Yes, that's exactly it. Third giveaway is up, my friends. You can check it up on the Discord. So just jump into the Discord, go to the giveaways channel, and get in for your chance to win. Again, 350 credits. I'm going to use my clay buildup here to carve in a little bit more. And then I'm going to use my... Well, it's not called Damien Standard, right? It's called the... Where is it? The knife brush. Crease polish. To really sort of like push that in. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Just clean this part right here. And we clean that part right there. This is what I was mentioning on one of the shorts from this week. I think it aired on the second channel. And we were talking about how topology should flow nicely between the different elements. Like, you should not have something that just sort of like gets extruded out, sort of like blends, right? For instance, this point right here, I really wanted to blend to the rest of the elements. You could try switching the back into... Yeah, it is iBiking. It is on Vulkan. And yes, I can definitely feel the the improvement, like the difference there. There we go. The reference is a little bit more sharp. So again, I'm going to go with my move brush. Move brush or grab brush. Make this very, very sharp. Here. Love this thing. I really like this like hammered look that we're getting, right? Like this sort of like textury feel to the metal. It looks like it's like a little bit more like raw metal, right? How can I start a portfolio if I don't know where to specialize? I make props, environment, and character, or choose one. Choose the one. This is a very good question. You should always choose the thing that you're best at, not necessarily the thing that you like the most. This is something that's very, very... Oh, I'm gonna go full screen with this because this is such a hard thing and such a difficult topic. We've been told that we should pursue the thing that we love the most, the thing that we're passionate about, the thing that really inspires us. Yes, of course, like that's important. But if the thing that you are really passionate about is not the thing that you're really good at, then you're gonna struggle quite a bit. Like imagine if I wanted to be, because I'm very passionate and I want to be the best singer out there, and I cannot hold a tune for the life of me. Well, even though I might be the thing that I love the most, because it's not the thing that I'm the best at, then it's not really gonna be like easy to fit into that particular decision. In terms of 3D, maybe you really like to do characters, but you cannot for the life of you sculpt like proper anatomy. Well, that's fine. Maybe you're really good at hard surface modeling and you can be an amazing prop artist. You can keep doing you can keep doing characters on the side, but if you specialize on doing what you're the best at, then that's gonna open up more doors for you. Yes, passion is important, but proficiency is also very important for your career. So make sure you pick the thing that you're really good at. You're gonna see once you start learning all of the different things about 3D, you're gonna see certain things that you're like naturally good at. Try to pursue those things. For me, one of the examples that I can give you, I'm really good at teaching. Like I consider myself to be a really proficient artist, but I'm really good as a teacher. So that's why I pursued teaching as part of my career as a 3D artist, because that's what I sort of like excel at, right? So it's very important that you try to find the things that you're good at. Yes, things that you like and the things that you enjoy are important, but also the things that you're good at. Don't forget it. Again, it's important. It says, if you're passionate about something, you're not good at it. You have to spend enough time doing that thing and can't be that passionate about it. No. The thing is, you can be very passionate about something. Like you can spend years and years and a lot of time and effort and money and whatever trying to be really freaking good at something and still not be as good as you might want, right? That's not bad, that's not wrong. It's just life. That's how it is. So if that happens to you, one of the things that you need to be very mindful of is like, hey, well, this is not for me, like this particular part of the process, right? Because it would be like, I've never met someone in my 3D career that's bad at every single part of the 3D process. Like, no. There's someone that's really good, like maybe at drawing or at concept art, or maybe like at animation, or maybe at rigging, or he's like a very good technical artist. Hey, if that's what you're really good at, that's what you should be pursuing, because that's going to, again, open up more doors for you. It's going to give you a salary, right? Like an income that's going to allow you to keep pursuing the other parts of the process that you really like. So yeah, don't be scared of just like picking the thing that you're really good. I think as artists, we always feel like we're not good enough. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I disagree. Passion will accelerate your learning process beyond whatever you think you're good at the moment. Yes, no. Again, like passion is very important. I've mentioned this before. There's this concept that we've shared called ikigai, which is, yes, find what you're passionate about. For instance, I'm passionate about 3D, right? Like that's my passion. And then I'm really good at teaching. So if I can mix both of those things, I get like a really like cool, sort of like a successful thing. But there's people that are really passionate at something and they just don't have the necessary qualifications to be able to do that. Like I'm for instance, I'm very passionate with chess. I really like that. I mentioned this before. I really enjoy playing chess, but I know that I don't have what I need to, for instance, become a GM. It's not going to happen. Even if I tried like super hard for the next couple of years and I'm super passionate, like it's just not going to happen because there's other factors involved into getting a specific type of result. So we just got to be very mindful about that. Doesn't mean that you cannot, again, like pursue a passion and get like relatively far into that like specific field. I'm just saying that we gotta be a little bit more understanding that passion is not necessarily the only thing that should fuel what we're doing. Abe, did you hear anything about NXA Studios? I'm currently working in one of them. NXA? No, my friend. I'm not familiar with their work. What are you doing there? That's great, by the way. But what do they do? Do you do games, or do you do like publishing, advertisement? I don't know what I'm good at. I feel like I'm good at everything. Okay, that's a little bit of like a humble brag right there. Iron Man Civil War. How old are you? Because that's something that usually, I'm not gonna say it all the time, but usually younger people tend to feel. It's like, oh, I'm just good at everything. The moment you realize, have you heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect? It's very common. It's very common. You can press F to adjust. Yeah, I know. It's just I'm not used to all of the shortcuts because I don't sculpt very often here. But yeah, actually, that one's a good shortcut to know. There you go. Incorporating a new shortcut. See? Now we learn. Now we learn one more thing. It's funny because when I did the Blender course like a couple of years ago, the Lava course, like I was like flying with all of the shortcuts. But I haven't used Blender heavily for the past literally a couple of years. So that's why I forget. You don't use something, you forget it. It's, again, very sort of like common in 3D quite a bit, unfortunately. The key is to feel you suck. Yeah, no, it's a very good realization, to be honest. Like, I personally feel, even after doing 3D for 15 years, almost 15 years, I still feel like I don't know so many things. Like, I'm a noob and I'm a sucker at like a lot of like things, right? So it's important that you are like. It's important to always keep that sort of like humble attitude of like, yeah, there's more stuff to learn, and you can learn stuff from so many people, right? Like it's not like that. That's another important thing. Like you need to understand that there's so much information out there and so many talented people that you can learn a lot of stuff from them. I don't really care about the inside. I don't think we're gonna do the inside of the helmet. That would be like way too much geometry. Oh, actually, we might need to do it. And the reason why we might need to do the inside is because there are a couple of angles where we might actually see a little bit of the inside. So we do need to clean it up then. Just a little bit. I'm trying to be careful with this like thin area, thin element. Now, imposter syndrome is very common. There's a very cool thing about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome gets the most difficult to handle when you start lying to yourself. Like, if you're really honest to yourself and you are very, again, clear to who you are and what you are, then you're not going to suffer from imposter syndrome as much because you know who you are and where you are. So the moment you start pretending to be someone you're not, or trying to sort of like sell yourself or say things about yourself that are not true, that's when you start feeling like, oh, maybe I'm an imposter. But if you're like just very self-conscious and very honest about it, and you're like, yeah, this is who I am, this is what I know, this is what I can do, then imposter syndrome goes away. It literally goes away. Hello from India, my friend. Will you retopo? Yes, of course. Like, this would be eventually retopoed for like a game, for like more of a game production. There we go. I think we're in a good position here. I'm just gonna soften it like a couple of things, but I like the general sort of like level of detail that we have. So now we need to jump onto the other one, of course. So this one, we're going to Control R, and then let's make this a little bit smaller. Control R again. Oh, that's way too small. Let's do like 0.2, 0.1. There we go. Now, an important thing here is we do need to create a little bit of an overlap. I can see a little bit of an overlap on the element. I'm gonna grab my grab brush again. And that overlap is going to help with two things. It's going to make the retopology process easier. And it's going to give me like a very nice looking like ambient occlusion bake later on. So that way we don't need to retopologize as two separate pieces. We can just do one piece. Here, this is very important. See how I'm pushing the back section a little bit further in? That's because I want to have a little bit of like a cast shadow or something there. What are your thoughts on making 3D printing models in Maya or Blender? I had to do... Yeah, it's fine. I would definitely use Blender more than Maya for 3D printed models. because we have sculpting here inside the blender, and the sculpting in my eyes is like the worst thing that you could ever like try. Just like so freaking bad. So, but it's fine. Yeah, like I don't mind. I think it's a good idea. It's a good thing that you can do. Details are cool, but wouldn't those carvings look better if they were asymmetrical? Yes, we're gonna add a little bit more asymmetry in a little bit. Here's a very interesting thing about symmetry. When you're working with symmetry, certain elements, or the closer you are to the center line of your object, the more obvious the symmetry looks, right? So all of this ones right here, you're never gonna see this one, and the other side at the same time. It's impossible, pretty much, to see them at the same time. This one on the front, I do agree. So for instance, here, what I would do probably is let's go back to this sculpting one right here, turn off symmetry, and then with my clay build up here, just like rebuild this thing a little bit better. All right, so let's just rebuild it right there, or have a slightly different one, right? And that way, when you see it from the front, they look slightly different. I would definitely probably like smooth this one out a little bit more. And yeah, at this point, if you want, you can like start adding a little bit of asymmetry, right? For instance, we can like hit it a little bit more on that side right there. Fill it in a little bit more over here. Again, the closer we are to the center line, the more asymmetry we want to have. It's a very good advice I can give you here. So we can add a little bit of this information here, and again, since we're closer to the center line, it's gonna be a little bit more obvious to keep. Topi says, I've been doing 3D for over 3 years and I still don't know anything about animation and only basic rigging, but it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I always use doctors as a reference. Like when you're learning medicine, right? Or when you're studying medicine, you learn the basics of all of the like branches while you're studying, and then you specialize on one of them, right? So even though every single doctor out there knows the basic like anatomy and functions of the human body and in all its parts, they specialize on one specific way to deal with it. And if they can't figure it out, they'll send you to the specialist that's gonna be able to help you. So the same thing happens for 3D. Like, I don't expect someone who's a modeler to be able to animate and rig and do VFX and do compositing and do like concept art and design. Like, no, that's a lot of like different works. You can learn all of those things. I personally like to learn a lot of the pipelines just to incorporate them into my like portfolio and stuff. But usually on a job, you're not going to be doing all of those stuff. Like, it's just not, that's not the way it works. Okay, let me turn this off for just a second. I feel many schools like to push animation a lot in game arts majors because there's a lot of work in animation, to be honest. Like, if you like animation, it's a great, like, it's competitive as with everything. Like, unfortunately, everything in our fields is competitive all the time, but animation requires so much work that there's a lot of work about it or around it. So, and a lot of people, when they think about 3D, right, like movies and games, animation is one of the first things that they like think about. It's like a very common like part of the process, right? We think, like, you tell your parents, right, or your uncles or your older friends, is like, oh, I'm learning at 3D, and they're gonna think about animation. Like, that's what they immediately think. They don't know that there's so many other like things around animation, like again, like rigging, like a VFX, like motion graphics, like simulations or physics or things like that. They just think about like animation because that's what they see. How can you accomplish really sharp edges in Sculpt? One of the ways to do it is, of course, you need more resolution. So for instance, here, I'm gonna go a little bit lower in resolution to get like sharp edges. So I'm gonna get more geometry, 4 million points right there. And then this one's right here, the trim brushes. These are really good to really sharpen things up. I really like this one right here. It's the, what's it called? It's called the flatten contrast. So if you make your brush really, really small, you can push it and you can get like really sharp edge. See that right there? So that's the way to do it. I don't worry too much about like these chewed edges that we're getting right now, because I feel like they look nice, to be honest, and they're gonna bake quite nice as well on the final result. Now I'm gonna go here with my clay buildup and just again start adding a little bit of like form and texture variation. This is one of the things that you want to do pretty much all the time with skin, leather. Like just adding a little bit of noise variation in general, it's a good way to make your surfaces look a lot more complex. Cybermole, just for FYI, I'm pretty sure Alt-Q can be used to swap the active sculpt mesh. Alt-Q. No. That's not it, man. Or you're trying to... Oh no, that was Control-Q. Alt-Q? No, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Yeah, this is Blender 5, guys. And yeah, like this is one of the things that I'm genuinely surprised by. Like the fact that we can work with higher level like subdivisions now. Like this is 5 million points on one tool and then have like another millions on the other. Yeah, I pressed Control Q, but even and then the other one, it's not doing what I expected it to do. Smaller. Gonna damage this thing right here. How long until the next winner? Have 3 more winners to go, right? 3 or 2 or more winners. Or that we're giving away some credits for 3DSK. It's an amazing site. They have their Black Friday sale right now. It's a great site for reference. 2 minutes, 2 more minutes. Whenever I say I do 3D, people think it's about 3D printers. Yeah, that is another common nowadays, right? Especially nowadays where 3D printing has become so prevalent. A lot of people might think about that. I went so deep into ZBrush and sculpting that I created a high poly realistic person to sell it, but when I had to start another project from scratch, I got bored, so I switched to eating Roblox models. Hey, whatever sells, man. If you can get, like, I know there's people that are getting like really good money with like Roblox stuff. I've never really gotten into it, to be honest, but I know that that it's something out there. There we go. Really wanna flatten this thing right here. Do we have any other brushes for flattening? Scale multiplane. Oh, that one's working. The trim. Yeah, I'm trying to find the trim. Which is the trim? Trim, I don't like the... I feel like it's a little bit strong, though. I mean, it's giving us a nice sort of like hammered effect, so not bad. Unsure if anyone's asked, but have you given Nomad Sculpt a peek now that I have not tried the PC version. No one's asked yet. Haven't tried the PC version. I have it on my iPad. I like it, but I have ZBrush on the iPad now as well, so I use that one a little bit more. But yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. Oh, you know what? We're gonna have to use like a boolean there. This is the kind of stuff that I would definitely do in ZBrush, to be honest. Okay, Control S. Should we jump into ZBrush now? Let's see. I was hoping to get your opinion on which software for rendering, because Blender and Unreal... I feel Unreal works better for me because of all of the effects. It depends on what type of render. If you want to do real-time render, then yes, Unreal definitely. But if you want to do some other stuff, then I would try something else. Yeah, like Blender with cycles is really good. And we have the third winner. The third winner is our good friend Negati. Congratulations, my friend, on winning the third giveaway for today. We still have 2 more giveaways to go. Make sure you guys jump into the Discord and go into the little events tab so that you get a chance to win 350 credits from our friends at 3DSK. There we go. Oh, all in Blender. Yeah, let's do all in Blender. Okay, let's start modeling. We need to model one more piece. We need to model that thing right there, the little hanging bit. That's an easy one. So let's go back to layout here. Let's go back to our front view. And I'm going to start with a cube. Cube to the center. Right around there. Let's turn on grid here to snap it to the center of the grid. There we go. Go to wireframe mode, vertex. I'm going to grab this vertex right here and push this guys up. I want to buy your hand-painted pirate course, but I don't have ZBrush. Is it doable in Blender Sculpt? Yes, totally. You can totally do it inside of Blender. What do you think about the new Substance Painter update? It's really cool. I mean, it's the ribbons, right? Like they added the ribbons, which are a sort of like an upgrade on the path tool. Looks very nice. I think they're going to be quite handy, to be honest. That's the big thing that I saw. Let's see. Now we're going to go and add a couple of lines right here. One right there. One right there. Right there. One right there. One right there. One right there. One on the one side and one on the other side. And we want them to me. I think we want them to be as... Okay, scale on Y. Go. Seems about right. G on the Y. Let's push this forward. Right around there. And now we're gonna grab this face. This face and this face. This face, this face, and this face. Oh. This face and this face. Delete those faces. Go to solid. Grab those guys right there and fill. No, not fill. Or just grab it. Fill. I know we can bridge, but this is one thing that I really like. The F like key inside the Blender, like being able to fill these things like just quickly. It's really handy. Maya has a new like smart extrude option that's very nice as well. But I really like this one. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. Okay. Now I'm going to apply all transforms. Because what I want to do now is I'm going to grab all the edges and then bevel them. With, of course, 2 segments. So we get a sort of like a smoother, more subdivided mesh. And then this is relatively easy because since we're going to dynamesh all of this, of course. So I'm going to just create a cylinder. Move the cylinder here. Rotate it. Scale it on X. And then move it on Y. So it should match what we have right there. That's about it. I think this one might be a little bit thicker though. Actually, we have the side view. Why guesstimate if we have the actual side view? There we go. So let's scale this to the proper size. There we go. Oh, this one has a little bit of curvature. Interesting. So let's add some lines here. 1, 2. Yeah, those should be enough. This one, so we're gonna push up. There. Careful with those, because those are gonna so like distort a little bit. Again, I kind of like the imperfections that we might be able to get, but we don't want to make them like super extreme though. The helmet looks like one of the helmets from it's yeah, because this is an actual like real world like helmet thing. We're gonna go there. Let's add one more edge loop here. Let's push them to give a little bit of roundness. There we go. Yeah, that looks great. Now this thing right here, we're just gonna scale this on X a little bit. Push it out. Okay. I'm going to bevel the edges a little bit. And of course, we're gonna mirror this thing across the x-axis. Let's grab like the object. There we go. Let's apply this. Grab both of these things. Control J to join them. Then we go into sculpting mode. Let's trim this off for just a second. And we're going to remesh. Oh, we're definitely going to have to go really low on this one. Let's try 0.07. Oh, maybe a lot less than that. Let's try 0.01. There we go. So almost 500,000 polygons, but this is great. Now, since this thing is very close to the center line, I'm definitely going to keep it without symmetry. Let's see. What is the workflow? Are you modeling then making a high quality sculpting version? Yes, exactly. I'm doing the high poly version of this thing, and eventually we're going to do a retopology, and we're going to like texture this, of course. I'm not gonna be able to do that today. I want to focus on the high poly creation. But yeah, that's pretty much the workflow that we're following here. Smooth all of those like pinches that we got from the bevel. And yes, someone mentioned proportional editing. I agree. That could be another option there. Let's try adding some like dents. What is what? Proportional editing? You know what proportional editing is, Mango. You took the course. Proportional editing is one of the options that we have right here. It's like self-selection. It's like self-selection instead of Maya. So here, the main thing that we want to get rid of are all of the, so like weird pinches that we might have gotten. And of course, all of that banding. Like the polygonal looking like things there. I want to try the Boolean feature here inside of Blender, but I'm a little bit scared that it's gonna break my my mesh. It's again thing you can like. I know what it was, but I know that yeah, self-selection. Yeah, that's it. Like, you guys want me to give you a tip to learn like the other software? Like, let's say you're a Maya user and you want to learn Blender, or you're a Blender user and you want to learn like Maya. Best thing you can do is on your second monitor. Hopefully you have a second monitor. I strongly recommend that you get one because it's very handy. But if you have a second monitor, just have ChatGPT on the other window and be like, in Maya, I have self-selection. I want to know what the tool is inside of Blender. And it's going to tell you, oh, like there's no exact tool, but you can use it like this, like that, whatever. So I normally, when I'm trying to learn another software, I just say, in Maya, I do this. How can I do this other thing? And it's going to give you like really good answers. Like, that's one use where AI, I think, really helps us because you can really focus on learning the tools, because you already know the tools, right? Like it's like oh, I already know what an extrude is. I don't need to learn how extrusion works because I already know how it works, but I just want to know how the hell can I find that inside of Blender, or inside of Houdini, or inside of like this other software, or this and that. So it's important to, it's a really good way to find that information quickly. Second monitor is a must. Yes, it's definitely a must. Yeah, like yesterday I was trying to do some stuff in 3D code, and I wanted to do something similar to what I know how to do inside the Photoshop, and I was doing this like, hey, in Photoshop I do this, I want to find a way to do this in 3D code. It's like, oh yeah, you can try this, or you can try that. Try to use this tool right here. It's a really good way to learn. It's a really good way to learn. Like, to be honest, like ChatGPT, really good. I don't like AI generating stuff for a lot of other stuff, right? Like images and videos, they look like shit. Did you guys see the Coca-Cola video? Absolute nightmare stuff. But that kind of other things, like in like learning elements, I think it's a good use of AI. I'm gonna use like a welding point here. secret is making this look as organic and as like someone actually built this thing, right, in their workshop or whatever. Hi, Abe. I saw that for Indiana Jones they used Modo. Modo? They just discontinued it. I do not recommend it. I think they just discontinued it. Like, I'm not sure if the what's the word? I'm not sure if the studio has a lot of like artists that are using it, but I heard that the foundry just discontinued it. so I would not recommend learning Modo. Like, I'm sure you can still use it, but I don't think they're going to be adding any more like tools or elements to it. So because of that, I would not recommend. Just be careful with GPT's answer. They might be other. Yeah, no, they're definitely like one of the things that I do when using ChatGPT and like this software stuff is I always tell it, hey, this is the version of the software that I'm using. Like I'm using, I don't know, Blender 5.0 or 3D Code 2025.26 or whatever. So that it tries to find the right information. But yeah, it can be outdated. But even if it fits wrong, it usually will at least guide you through the or get you close to the area where you might be looking for something specific. Watch people around the Blender like this makes me want to do a full hard surface model there like before. Yeah, it's a good, it's a great software. Like I really like. I don't know why people have this like very weird conception that us artists that use a lot of other softwares like Maya or Blender that we're against, or sorry, Maya or ZBrush we're against Blender. No, not at all. I really like the software. I recommend it all the time. I have a course about using like the basic stuff for Blender. For those of you that haven't seen it, it's this one right here. It's the Axe course, right? So in this one, we go over like basic poly modeling, sculpting, UVs, texturing, and people really like that course. So I like Blender. I don't have anything against it. I am a little bit against the community, because the community sometimes can be a little bit too fanboyish. I think it's the right way to say it. Like they try to defend Blender as if it's the only option, and every other corporation is like evil and every other software is evil. And no, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think that's the right approach, to be honest. But Blender is an amazing software. What GPT give you a feedback? No. You cannot ask ChatGPT for a thing. Like if you upload a picture to ChatGPT and they're like, oh, what do you think about this image? Like, no. Remember, ChatGPT doesn't the ChatGPT doesn't have an opinion. It just spits words. It just like finds the best approximation to the answer that you're looking for. So you should not rely on ChatGPT's opinion at all. Iron Man, si yo también tomé clases de español, pero ahora lo he olvidado por falta de práctica. Soy de la India. All right, that's actually like really good Spanish there, man. Like you wrote it perfectly fine. So, do you do micro details in the sculpting or texturing? Usually texturing. Like here, like the scratches and all that kind of stuff. Unless I'm doing something like for 3D print or something like that, I don't think it's really worth it. Okay, so let's put this thing to a test. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, let's try this, because in ZBrush this thing frequently crashes. So let's see how this guy handles it. So I want to do a box trim here. Damn! Not freaking bad, Blender. You win a point today for me. That's freaking great. Look at that, guys. Nice. That's a box trim, right? It's a Boolean operation. There we go. That's what we want. That's all we want right there. That's perfect. Yeah, nice. Now we just need to clean that edge. But yeah, Blender gets a point for me today because of that. Because ZBrush tends to struggle with that quite a bit every now and then. Not always, but every now and then. Okay, now of course we need to Control R, right, to remesh. Yes. I don't like the other material. Why do we have multiple materials? I guess it's like polygroups or something, right? That's fine. But yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. And of course, because this is very close to the center line of the element, we don't want to have symmetry there. ZBrush with Crash, yeah. Do you think AI will replace artists in the future? Dude, here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. I know that we're very scared, or I know that we're very scared about AI taking our jobs in the future. I don't think it is. And we've been very paranoid ever since AI started like 3 or 4 years ago. It won't replace artists, but it will change the pipeline. Like I've seen some artists and some artists that I really respect using or incorporating like AI heavily in their workflows. It's not going to replace artists because your expertise, your knowledge about what looks good, what is good, what works, what doesn't work, that stuff, you still need that input in the machine of this AI stuff. Will it change the way we use art in the entertainment industry or in production pipelines? Yes, but you can still do art traditionally the same way we've been doing it for like 30 years now. So if you still want to do things very like, again, manually, organically, like very artistic heavy like input, that's fine. Just keep in mind that in production pipelines, in big studios, they're going to be using AI more and more, and you need to use it as a tool. You need to use it in ways to help you in your process. But I don't think it's going to be replacing. Like it's going to change the work landscape, but it's not going to replace the artistic side of things. And it's not even going to replace all of the expertise that you need as an artist. Like that's a very, very important thing. Thank you. Do we got a follow? Yeah, Ryu, thank you for the follow, my friend. Yeah, exactly. As a tool, it's fine. And we're going to use it more and more. And it's fine to use it as a tool. But you still need to know like things about optimization, things about topology, things about proper UVs, things about like just design principles, right? Like what is a good design? What is a bad design? Like why is the Coca-Cola commercial so bad? Like why do we not like it? Because the design just sucks pretty much, right? Because in terms of rendering, in terms of light, in terms of quality, the quality looks fine, but the designs suck. So that's the part where artists are gonna really go and be the difference in big projects, in big productions. The fact that we're gonna be like utilizing AI, but we need to sort of like polish AI and curate AI, like figure out which things work and which things don't work. Okay, let's add what next detail do we add? Oh, we need another little like cylinder thing going down there. So let's do that real quick. I'm really enjoying the workflow, to be honest, guys. Like, look at this. Like it's what, like 1 hour? We've been working on this for 1 hour, and this is already looking quite nice. And we're gonna look at some like rendering stuff because they did improve the rendering as part of the whole thing as well. Let me just bring this thing up a little bit. There we go. And let's get the, there's like a handle or like a cylinder here. Again, like I'm not gonna dump a Maya, but this is not bad at all. No. Here's the thing. I know there were a lot of concept artists out there, but most of the stuff that I seen AI do, concept art related, it's so cliche. It's so unoriginal. It's so like, I don't know. Like I don't like it. Like it looks cool. And I think Guillermo del Toro said something like this. They're very cool wallpapers, like wallpaper generators. Like you're going to get some really interesting wallpapers from it, but they're nothing like interesting. It's nothing like, I have not seen any like design that is like, oh, this is freaking awesome. However, I have seen, and actually we figured this out a little bit later than we would have wanted to, but there are some artists that are using AI as a starting point, and then they polish those designs a little bit more. That's fine. I don't mind that. If you use AI, find something, you know, like how many generic knights do we need to do for medieval games, right? Like a lot of them. So if you get like a generic knight from AI, and then as a concept artist, you take that and you modify, you clean up the design, you improvise, you use your knowledge and your skills to take what the AI gives you and elevate it into a more original and more interesting level, that's fine. I mean, people have been doing that for a lot of time with like photo bashing, right? Like I remember when photo bashing was what's the word? When photo bashing was starting, like a lot of people thought that it was cheating. It's like, oh no, you're cheating because you're not actually like doing or painting or doing anything. You're just grabbing like images and things like that and getting them like mashed together. Yes, but you mash them together and then you clean them out, you polish, and then you give something or you create something cool, right? So even though it might seem like cheating, it's not cheating. It's just being efficient with the process. Neo says, rayos, llegué tarde, acabo de despertar. No te preocupes, mi estimado. Va a estar el live ahí disponible para que lo veas. Will gifts be giving after, like, yes, after the live stream? I'll reach out to the winners and I'll give you guys the code so that you can win. And congratulations, Mustafa! Mustafa, you're here. I'm pretty sure you're here. I've seen you before. I think this is the first time you win, man. That's great. Congratulations, Mustafa Ahmed, for the 350 credits for 3DSK. I hope they help you a lot in your journey here. Make this a little bit smaller. Control R. Actually, we forgot to. This is very important. Make sure that you always apply transforms when you scale things, because otherwise you can see that. See how the remesh is giving me like stretch faces? That's because I did not apply transforms before. So now I need to apply transforms here and remesh. There we go. Now we're gonna get clean geometry. So congratulations, Mustafa, and we're gonna have a couple more ones. When do you recommend use the multi-res modifier? If you have really clean topology, like for instance, if you have like a base mesh, like the ones that they give away on the Blender Foundation, like if you have some of those base meshes and you want to keep the topology, then multi-res works better. But you need to have like really clean, really even topology in order to make good use of the multi-res element. Since I'm gonna be doing again like retopology for this thing, I prefer to do it this way. Like I'm just using multi-res like modifiers here. Oh. Let's clean that line up there. I'm guessing I have the exact same line the other side. There we go. That's it. A little bit of an extra detail right there. And this is one of the things that I mentioned on portfolio review quite a bit. You guys need to make sure that when we're doing this kind of stuff, you always do this in multiple pieces, right? Like I'm not trying to model or sculpt everything from a single piece. That would just be pretty much impossible. So make sure you try to do things in separate pieces, the way they would normally or traditionally be built, because otherwise your objects are not going to look as realistic, right? My workflow is box modeling, base mesh, then multi-res sculpting. Yes, that works. Any recommendations to clean up jagged edges from remeshing when sculpting in Blender? Yes, the polish brushes over here. Again, I'm keeping a lot of the jagged edges because I feel like they look nice with the kind of stuff that we're doing here with the helmet. But if you want to clean them up, then yeah, the polish brushes are what you want to go for. Okay. Let's add oh, we have a couple of like holes here. You see those right there on this side? Those are pretty nice. Let's sculpt them real quick. That's like a nice little detail, right? Eventually we're gonna paint those black or something. Now let's add some of the bolts. We have a lot of bolts right here, so let's start adding some of those bolts to this part. What part or culture of history is this helmet? That's a great question. So this helmet is an Italian jousting helmet from circa 1475 to 1500. So yeah, this is Italian. I'm getting this image from the Met Museum. Let's see. If you try to give a job for games, should I render in Real or will Marmoset be enough? Marmoset is enough. Like most of my renders on my portfolio, they're on Marmoset. Like for instance, with this one that we finished last week, I have the Marmoset render view. I mean, this is a little bit different because this is hand painted stuff, but even like traditional stuff, you can do it with Marmoset. So for instance, oh, this one's so old. Look at that, 9 years ago. So this one has the Marmoset one. This is such a, like, I really loved when I did this model. Nowadays I look at it, it's like, oh my god, so many mistakes here on this one. This was for a game that's going to be like a top-down game, and you would see multiple of these units, and it was like super low poly as well. So we had to optimize. Like it's 5,874 triangles for the whole character here, and it had to have like proper animation topology and everything. It was quite a challenge, but I was happy with this. Like the albedo map doesn't look that bad. I think that was a good result. Yeah, this was 9 years ago. Okay, so let's add some of those like bolts. And this is a very common thing, right? Like right now, a lot of people, those bolts would just like sculpt them. Like they would just like add them like this. And if you do that, the edge that you get there is really, really bad. Like it just looks very, very bad. So best thing you can do is just add the sphere and use the sphere. So I'm gonna add like a UV sphere there. Of course, I'm going to flatten this. So scale on the Y, make it like a little thing right there, and then just rotate this. Just rotate it so that it follows the curvature of the helmet a little bit better. I think this is a little bit big, so I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. And this is gonna be it's gonna give me a way better result in terms of bakes, right? Like when we bake this is gonna look just so much better than if I just like sculpted or masked that out. From 9 years ago, it's good already. It looked like for no, it's not. It's like we are always learning, always improving, right? That's our motto here on the channel. So let's do a mirror for this. Well, let's of course apply transforms. Control A, apply all transforms, and we're gonna do a mirror. There we go. Let's apply this, and then I need to actually, before I apply the mirror, I'm going to duplicate this, and this one's gonna be my. There's one right there, very, very thin, but there's one right there in the middle. Set origin to center of mass volume. There we go. There we go. And it's fine. Again, like having this little bit of asymmetry on the high poly is great because the bakes are gonna just look so nice. Let's apply all transforms, and now we jump into sculpting. So that's sphere right there. I'm going to Control R. Of course, we need to change this to like 0.001. There we go. Smooth that out. That one's really flat against the surface, so I'm going to use my move brush. Really push it there. So again, as I was mentioning, you don't want to just like sculpt it from the main mesh. You want to do this kind of like construction similar to what we would expect to have on the real world. Now I'm going to use my trim brush, and what I want to do is I want to give it like little hits here and there. Really, let me use something a little bit more aggressive like this one. There we go. And see how that's going to give me like a hammer metal effect. So it looked like this thing was pushed into the metal, right? Like a rivet. ¿Has usado Yuku Paint para Blender? No, I have not tried Yuku Paint. I've seen some good stuff about it, but I have not tried it yet myself. Not yet. I'm just like a sucker for Substance Painter, to be honest. Go. See how organic that looks now? And of course, ideally, what we want to do here is go to the main cylinder and maybe add just a little bit of something. Not too much, right? But just maybe a little bit of a depression or something to indicate that this thing is actually like pushing or moving. Like this is not leather, so I would not expect it to look like a button, but it should be something that works. Cloudy, thanks for the donation, man. Says, hey Ave, are you gonna retopologize in Blender? I don't think so. I think I'm not gonna do this during the stream, by the way. I'm gonna finish this off camera, this project, and I'm probably gonna be doing the retopo instead of Topogon, to be honest. go. Now we go to this guy's right here. Remesh. 0.001. Enter. Remesh. Is there a reason you do not shade smooth? Because I'm just gonna like destroy everything here with sculpting. No! Come on, Blender. You've done such a good job. You can do this. Oh, wait a second. Wait, did I do 43, 40? The hell? Maybe 0.001 is too much. Much better. I think I was in the wrong subtool, right? Yeah. No, it's saved. It's saved. Okay, let's save. There we go. Let's remesh. And I want to do 0.01. It's this one. No, see, for this guy's right here, we can do 0.001. The helmet was the one that we couldn't do that high. Go. There we go. And we're going to use... Oh, no. Oh, wait a second. Oh, we have this thing. Let's apply. Gonna give it a little bit of, again, like variation and roughness to the whole thing. Is high and low poly together on Blender, or only... Right now, it's only the high poly. Like, we're only seeing the high poly. But eventually, we will have both elements together. Is that realistic or stylized? I'm trying to go for more realistic style. So I would say right now this is looking way more realistic than what I usually do. I'm adding a couple of extra details here and there. Looks are like personal preferences of mine. But we're trying to keep this like quite real. Like the shading and the texturing is going to be quite realistic once we do that. Now, this is where again we need to work smart, right? Not hard. So we already have a couple of like bolts right here, and we need to repeat them a couple of times across the whole section. We don't need to do this so many times. Let's see. I don't like how Blender modifiers have an option to duplicate right under apply. 3 subdivisions duplicated almost crashed my file. Yeah, that can happen. As a Maya user, I admit Blender recently has insane retopo. No, the thing is, Mustafa, the retopo that you saw, it was probably Retopo Flow 4, and that's a plugin, and that's one of the things that I've mentioned, and I got criticized quite a bit for saying this, but it's the truth. Yes, Blender is very powerful, but there's a lot of plugins that make it very powerful. So if you're not using those plugins, then some parts of the software do feel a little bit more limited. So for instance, the retopology stuff, Maya with the Quadra is way better in retopology than Blender by default. But if you afford or if you buy your Retopo Flow or some of the other tools, then yes, like the retopology tools here inside of Blender get really, really good, even better than Maya. But that's the thing. Like sometimes people get a little bit dishonest with the fact that Blender, like vanilla Blender, can do everything better than Maya. Not necessarily. There are certain things that it's really good at, but there are other things that it could definitely improve. Right? So let's just play fair, I would say. There. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to go back to layout. I want to check some render stuff. We're going to do some like quick renders in just a second. I'm going to grab this guys right here and I'm going to duplicate them. And then I'm going to go into face mode. I know there's like super like big faces, but I can do just linked, right click and separate selection. There we go. Then I'm going to go to mesh. Or sorry, go object and set origin to center of mass. There we go. So this is what I was mentioning, like work smart, not hard. So if we already have one of this guys right here, it's a good idea to just get it into position and reuse that bolt. It's such a small bolt, no one's gonna care. Right? So we just Again, reduce this. I think this detail that I added, it's too far back. I made a mistake with this one. I need to push this like to around there. Then we just duplicate this. For instance, rotate it so we see a little bit of a different face. And then we can bring one of the other ones that we just... And remember, all of these guys are going to be baked down. So it's probably going to be like really flat once we do the actual high poly. That's why I don't mind about this. Again, object, set origin, center of mass. How many we have? We have 4. Actually, like further back. I know we can use the snap to surface option. And I sometimes prefer to do things manually to get a little bit more control. Let's see. Will you bake the non? Yeah, the bakel. Yeah, I know I can use face snapping. I know. Sometimes I like to do it the hard way. Because for instance, I don't want all of them to be like some of like that one, like that line right there that looks interesting. And if I know that if I use the face snapping, it's always gonna snap to like the center of the element. And sometimes I might want like other parts of the little thing to show. But it's so cool. Like I remember, and well, first of all, guys, I want to thank you. I know I don't thank you enough. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here on the stream. Thank you for being part of this amazing community. Thank you for making a lot of 3D stuff and inspire everyone. Look at that. There we go. Looks nice. Hopefully with the content that we're creating here on the channel, you guys are enjoying it. Thank you, Akalon. Thank you. Modeling, by the other hand, I feel is more intuitive. Yeah, animation is very good in Maya, definitely. I can already see an AI retopo tool someday. There was one guy that was promoting it. We already have it. Here's the thing with AI retopo. I don't know why people are asking, and I'm gonna go full camera here. I'm not exactly sure why people are asking for an AI retopo tool when we already have like that kind of stuff with Decimation Master. We already have that kind of stuff with Z-Remesher. We already have that kind of stuff with Maya's, all the retopology tools. So if you just want to get like even clean quad like elements across the whole thing, it's already there. We have the option to do that already. Now for more like low poly elements where you need to be very precise, I don't think AI is ever gonna get there. That's why it's important to know about retopology. That's why it's important to optimize things, because we will still need to figure out if the retopology that we're getting from whatever machine we're using gets us the result that we want. Let's see. You give really good advice. I appreciate that. Out of the 3D artists I follow, you've been the best help for me getting my degree. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. The baking tools of Topogon are enough to replace the need of Substance Painter. Now, I love Topogon. We've collaborated with them, but I've mentioned this before. I don't think the baking tools inside of Topogon are the best. They're really good. They're going to give you, nice result here and there. But I do think they're not the best. I do think that they can be improved even. Like, but I don't think it's needed because Topogon is for retopo, not for baking. You're going to be doing the bakes inside of Marmoset, inside of, what's the word? Inside of Substance Painter, right? So, yeah. They want to do it with a prompt, but it's not going to be possible, man. Like, again, like on some of these ones right here, like this one. Yeah, we finished with it last week. Like the retopology that I needed for this was so specific for certain areas, like to make sure that that we had non-planar faces, to make sure that the silhouette was captured properly, to make sure that we were optimizing as much as possible. It's not easy, even for this one right here. Right, like there are some areas where the retopology needs to be very, 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 very precise to get the best kind of result, and this is not something that an AI can figure out because every single model is going to be different. So you cannot apply like a what's the word? You cannot apply the whole thing in just 1 second. Full pipeline in one live? No, not full pipeline, but we're moving quite far ahead. I would say like we're getting like a good amount of parts done for this thing right here. Now we need to add. I'm pretty sure this thing right here is where the plumes go, right? Would you guys agree? Like this thing's right here looks like where this is where the like the little feathers would go in the jousting helmets. So we need to add that, and then these are like more like spheres, right? Like this definitely feel bigger. So I'm gonna add those real quick. Let's do point on surface face project. Shift A, mesh, sphere. So it's right around there. So here now I'm using face project. Face project is just a way to make sure that these things are like attached to the actual element. These things will definitely need to be like retopologized on their own, probably because they're changing the silhouette way too much. We're gonna have to see how that's gonna work later. Let's duplicate that. We have another one right here. Rio says, hey Abe, is it cheating if I use AI for the initial sculpture but handle all the low poly GBs, baking, texturing, and rendering myself? I don't think it is AI, like cheating. It's kind of like using a base mesh, so I don't think it's cheating. I'm going to be honest, I've tried some of the 3D like AI tools out there. I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to give them any promotion. And most of the results that I've gotten are pretty shitty. Like I end up just like doing it from scratch or doing it from something else. Lasered or LSR 3D, congratulations, my friend. You are the winner of the 4th. Is that the 4th? We're missing one more, right? Or are we done? That do 1, 2, 3. No, that's it. That's it. That's all the 5th one. There you go. So congratulations, my friend, Laser 3D, for winning the last giveaway for today, which was the credits, 350 credits for 3D SK. Yeah, exactly. Like no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with probably weren't plumes on that. Probably a little flag or banner for into the history is the day job. Oh, thank you, 3D Chick. Yeah, I think I'm going to be adding plumes just because I like how plumes look. I know that it might not be historically accurate to do that, but it's probably going to be some plumes. Or what do you think? Like, actually, give me your opinion. If we wanted to add plumes, would we, instead of modeling something like that, add another like point here on the back so that it would, you know, give me an access point for the plumes? Do you think that would look better from a historical? Like I know it's not going to be perfectly accurate, but would that get us closer to accuracy? What do you say? Akalan says, I'm a teacher at a vocational school and the grading system is very stupid. If I would grade them like we are told to, people would get pretty easy full points, but I'm evil and demand more. Nice. I do think we need to change the way education for art works. And this is definitely a very sort of like controversial opinion, but I do feel like a lot of schools, and I've worked for some of them, they're using a very like outdated way of approaching like teaching art, and they evaluate things in a very like non-artistic way. Yeah, it's something that no, plumes were historically correct. I agree, but I think if we were adding plumes, we would add them here on the back, right? Like on the crown of the character, rather than on the side. On the side, it might look a little bit off. There we go. So this one we're definitely going to mirror, and let's use the helmet as a source point. There we go. And then this one gonna be right around there. And now we can Control J. Actually, let's apply this first. And now we Control J. Someone was asking about Shade Smooth. This is where I would use Shade Smooth. So for all of those pieces, definitely use Shade Smooth. And I do want to give them a little bit of, you know, life. So let's go to Sculpting. What's happening with the music? There we go. I think teachers are way too soft now because many of my classmates, no offense to them, they were seniors and their skills were like someone who just started. It's not the fault of the teachers, man. Again, this is a fault of the education system because a lot of education has become very for profit now. So they just care about like enrolling more students and them paying, unfortunately. And what ends up happening is that teachers are not allowed to fail students. Like I've unfortunately been in a couple of institutions where that happens. They tell me, no, you cannot fail them. It's like, dude, the guy doesn't know how to model. He doesn't know how to sculpt. Like he fails. So he's not going to pass. Like, no, we cannot fail them. Oh, man. what do I do at that point, right? Like, there's not much I can do. That's why I like doing my courses, because with my courses, at least I know, hey, if you take the course and you do the work, you're gonna learn it. But if you're not really interested in it, then don't get the course. Like, don't waste my time, and I'm not gonna waste yours. But yeah, it's unfortunate. If you do plumes, are you going to sculpt or use hair cards? Hair cards, definitely hair cards. Like, if I do plumes, I definitely want to do hair cards here. Let's go here. 10. Let's remesh 0.001 and remesh. Is that going to be too much? Shouldn't be too much. Maybe it's too much. Master Ave, para modelado, ¿qué prefiere de estos dos, Blender o C-Modeler? For traditional modeling, Blender, definitely. But if I have to, I'll do the stuff inside of C-Modeler. It's just the C-Modeler, it's a little bit, it's not as intuitive as some of the other stuff. Hopefully we don't crash here. I'm asking a little bit too much. Yeah, the stream is lagging. I made a mistake. I added it was too intense on the remeshing here. Oh man, I think this is gonna crash. I asked too much of Blender. Well, maybe we'll be proven wrong. I did save, right? I think I did save. How can I get the most out of 3D SK? Oh, I'll show you in just a second, man. I agree that AI could be unreliable retopo. Employees that weren't fired in the data entry field had to over time look through. Exactly. Please don't crash. I'm pretty sure it's going to crash. We're asking a little bit too much. Well, that holds, or if that, let's see if that recovers. Let me. No, it's not dying. It's not dying. Are we back? Are we back? We're back on Twitch. Okay. We're back on Twitch. Are we back on YouTube? Yes. Okay. We're back. At least it didn't die like that horribly. Let's see where we went, because I don't remember when was the last time we saved. We might have lost a little bit of progress. That's fine. How much progress did we lose? Okay, we lost the duplication of the bolts here and the spheres. Okay, that's not that bad. Not that bad at all. Okay, let's take a look at a little bit of rendering, because rendering, and hopefully we don't crash the stream again. But hopefully we get some nice results right here. So I'm just gonna add a very basic sort of like placeholder sphere right now. So I'm gonna go mesh, UV sphere. Let's go to the right view. Let's go to wireframe. Delete faces. I'm gonna scale on Z. Rotate. And then I'm gonna go C view. There. Let's go to sculpting real quick. The reason I like sculpting for this movements is because I just find the move brush to be better. It tends to be a little bit easier to get the shapes into place than trying to poly, like model and get them exactly where we want. You know what I mean? So even though this is a very sort of like low poly mesh, it's just way faster to get the idea where I want it. Right? So if you have the right geometry, this becomes so much faster. And eventually we can make this... Actually, that's like really close to what we need, right? We're not that far off from the actual result here for the helmet. Hey, I want to become a comp artist. Can you please tell me which one? Compositing, Nuke and DaVinci. Those are the ones that are used the most in the industry. DaVinci is like the free software, but eventually you do want to get the premium version of it. And Nuke is paid. It's by the Foundry, but it's like the go-to, like the that's the one that like the big studios use, right, for comp work. So those would be my advices, my recommendations. Yeah, it's almost done, right? Like the base is almost there. Let's go back to layout. Yeah, look at that. We got really close there. So I'm just gonna have it right there. Let's go to solid mode, shade smooth, and I am gonna add a thickness modifier. So, or a what? Solidify modifier. I'm gonna go up like that. Let's apply this, and then let's grab the edges. Well, first apply transform, and then let's bevel those edges. Here we go, 2 segments. That's it. So, of course, we need to give the same treatment. We need this thing right here. As I mentioned, this thing, I made a mistake. It's way too far back. So I need to sort of like move it to this area. Shouldn't be that difficult. Like, probably with the move brush, we can get it to work that way. But let's take a look at a little bit of the rendering stuff. So I'm going to save this real quick. Because they did mention that the rendering stuff was going to be a lot faster. So let's see if it's true. Which one is better to start modeling for a study? Blender or ZBrush? I've never used Blender. Blender. Like, I've mentioned this before, and I've mentioned this again. If you want to learn about the 3D world and you've never done absolutely anything in 3D, start with Blender. Why? Because you might not like it. You might like video games, you might like movies, you might like all of the things that you can do with 3D, but you might not like the actual process of doing 3D work. So, learn with Blender, try it out. There's tutorials here on the channel. There's other tutorials, of course, like the famous donut tutorial. Try those, and if you do like it, then eventually you can move on and try more advanced softwares like ZBrush, like Maya, like Substance Painter, like Marmoset, like Photoshop, like a lot of the other things that you are going to need. But you can always start with Blender. It's going to be free, and it's going to be a great way to begin your 3D journey. Lord Tellum says, nah, start with Houdini, jump right into the deep end. No, man. You want people to kill themselves. Is transitioning from Maya to Blender easy? Relatively. Like, you can, like, right now, like, I would consider myself to be proficient at Blender. I can get stuff done, right? I could probably get this done a little bit faster instead of Maya and ZBrush. But you can get, like, again, like a really good result relatively quickly, and you don't require that much like stuff, right? So let's download a, give me 1 second here. Let me go full camera because we're going to need an HDRI. So I'm going to quickly go to Polyhaven and download a nice HDRI that we're going to use for our rendering. Let's see. Something that looks, you know, a little bit like ancient. The Colosseum or something like that would be cool. Not sure if I'm going to be able to find it. One's fine. Docklands. 1 second. Which software helped me for freelance most, DaVinci or After Effects? Probably After Effects. But After Effects is not a compositing software. After Effects is like an animation and editing software. So now that I think about that, maybe DaVinci. Okay. So I'm going to go here to my skies or to my world settings, and in color, I'm going to bring in an environment texture. And then I'm, of course, going to open the environment that I just downloaded, which is this one right here. And if I go to Z, a render view, this is what we're going to get. That was fast and not bad at all. Of course, right now we are in Eevee. Eevee is like the real-time rendering solution that we have here instead of Blender, which again, it's not bad. I'm going to bring the strength down to like 0.1. I usually don't like my HDRI to be doing the whole work or the whole like information. So there we go. Let's go to render and let's change this to cycles. Boom. That's cycles. Unfortunately, right now cycle is set to CPU. We're going to change that to GPU. That should make it a little bit faster, although a little bit noisier. But that's not bad. It's not bad at all, to be honest. Yeah, Blender has compositing as well. I haven't used it. Alan uses it quite a bit for animation and for some of our edits on the shorts. Have I enabled optics? No, I'm not. I don't think I'm using optics. Let me check. I'm using CUDA. So let's denoise on the viewport as well. There you go. Yeah, that's fast. That's actually quite fast for the rendering. Now let's do some nice lights here. Shift A. Let's add a... Well, actually, let's go to the world, and I'm going to bring this even lower, so 0.01. So we have very, very little light. This one, we actually missed the material. So let's add a new material. Definitely going to be metallic. Maybe a little bit rough. And let's go for like a nice bronzish color. There you go, something like that. And then, if I'm not mistaken, the shortcut was to grab everything. And then the last one that you grab is this one. And then you go Object, Link, Transfer Data, Link Materials. There you go. Yeah, so yeah, I haven't forgotten about all that stuff. You know my way around this thing. There we go. Shift A. Light and Spotlight. We're going to use, of course, the sort of like traditional... Actually, no, let's do something a little bit different. We always do the 3-point light setup, so I'm going to do something different. First of all, I'm going to get rid of this light. There we go, so that we only have the reflection there. And I'm going to use Shift A, Light, and I'm going to do an area light. And this area light is going to be on the top, and it's going to be a really, really big area light. So this is more like what we would expect for like a product render or product like a presentation. Right click, adjust like power. I'm just gonna like really overwhelm this right there. Shift D, get it on one of the sides, so like a rim light. And then Shift D and get it on the other side. There we go. So we're gonna get a nice or like dark band there on the center of the element. And then we can go here. This is something that I don't like. Oh, they changed it. Nice. Thankfully, they changed this. Because I hated that you had to use like a black body and things like that to get like this warm colors. Now it's way easier with just like temperature node. So now we just click temperature. Where's the lights? Temperature. And we just make this warmer. Yeah, that's so cool. That's a good quality of life stuff. Because before you had to use like a black body and it was just like a mess. Let's keep a little bit more light from the HDRI. Maybe a little bit more. Let's do 0.2. And now let's add, of course, a plane here. It's gonna act as our floor. This is very important. Whenever you're doing metallic surfaces, you always want to have like a background. Because otherwise the element is going to just like, what's the word? It's going to reflect whatever it is that it's like there's nothing, right? So it's not going to reflect anything. We talked about this on the last portfolio review, which, by the way, someone was asking, when's the next portfolio review? Next week. Next week is the end of the month. So at the end of the month, we always have a portfolio review, and we're going to be reviewing portfolios. Make sure to join the Discord. We're going to open the submissions randomly next week, so stay tuned. I believe you can like have yourself or set yourself a notification, so when we do that, I recommend having your like post ready and just like post your ArtStation with your message and that kind of stuff. Let's do a bevel right there. Wait a couple more divisions and shade smooth. And this one, I do recommend, if your element is going to be very light, make your background darker, right? So that way your element's gonna pop more. And this one, I'm definitely gonna make it very, very rough. Now, why is it looking sort of like beige? Because of the what's the word? Of the lights, right? Like the lights are very light, so that's where we're getting that sort of like beige effect. Let me push this forward. I want to have a little bit more of the light like bouncing from the helmet. Now this is the cool thing, right? Like we're doing all of this pretty much real time, and it's giving us a nice result. Let's go to the camera. Let's go to view. I like to use camera to view. This is personal preference. That way we can just like map this thing right here. That'll be the render. Now we do want to probably grab this light right here, push it up, maybe push it back a little bit so that we don't get like that weird shadow that we had, so that the background is a little bit more, you know, interesting. And they did change something. This is one of the things that I wanted to talk about, which is they did change the color management stuff on the render settings. So if we go to render and we go to color management, you can see that by default we're using AGX. So what is this? This is the way colors are being mapped so that we see them displayed on our screen. And you can get different like effects right here. By default, like the normal one is this one is standard, but you can see that if you use the standard one, that the glow effects or the shiny bits are going to be like way too overexposed. So that's why a lot of people are using AGX now, because AGX sort of like tones that down, but I do feel it kills it a little bit, and I don't love it. The one that they've now introduced is this one, ACES 2.0. So this is like the industries, the Academy color specific like profile or whatever. This is the one that they used on like Hollywood movies and things like that. So you can try ACES 1.3 or ACES 2.0, and you're gonna get a color management approach that is, you know, a little bit like nice or a little bit like interesting. I do think ACES is a good one. But then what you can do here, which I really like, is you can select any of the ACES, for instance ACES 1.3, and then usually there is a option here. How do they don't have it here, where they could like crunch it a little bit more? You can always change things like the exposure, the gamma, and things like that. I think that was only on AGX. Yeah, it was on AGX. So on AGX, you can change this to like very high contrast or low contrast or medium high contrast. Again, it's depending on how you want. But you need to make sure that you're like, this is the thing. Like if you're doing this on a very old monitor, you're not going to be seeing too much of a difference. So the screen or the monitor that you're working on, you should have something that allows you to display most of this information. And most monitors, like even this tablet right here, the one that I'm using, it's not like a professional grading tablet. So you're not going to be able to change it as much. But even if you just change this to ACES, it's gonna look good. Can you help me that if I learn Houdini, Nuke, and DaVinci so I can get a job on base of the three? Yes. Like if you learn Houdini, Nuke, and DaVinci, and you learn them to a very proficient level, then those are skills that are very valuable to production companies. This is more towards like film and commercial work. I don't do that stuff. I do more like game development stuff. So yeah. But yeah, it is possible. Would you say HDRI is a worth investment monitor-wise? Not unless you're doing what Avay Rajawat is going to be doing. If you're going to be doing a lot of compositing and like final like image pre-visualization, then yes, you do need to have like a really nice monitor. If you're doing what I'm doing, which is just like modeling, sculpting, a little bit of rendering and stuff like that, you don't need to. No, you don't need to. Very well, my friends. Any more questions before we finish today's live stream? Because I think we did a good progress right now. I'm gonna be finishing this off camera, but I wanted to again get myself out of my comfort zone and do a little bit of like a Blender rendering or Blender modeling and sculpting. I think we did a good thing right here. I think we're really nice here. We're really close, and yeah, I'm just gonna be finishing some of the other pieces that I'm missing and get this quick render. Perhaps we can do a quick render. If we do a render image. There we go. Now, I do have a fast computer. I'm doing like 4K samples. So we can probably get this done in like 10 seconds. It's going to take about 20 for the full image to be. This is full HD. This is going to look very nice once we have like proper textures and proper elements, I think. Yeah. And then the plume at the top, that's going to be like the icing on the cake. So it's looking good. It's looking good. Not bad. What other processes we will see in stream for this helmet? Not much, because I actually need to do this for a job that I'm working on. so I'm gonna be finishing this off camera. But we're gonna have more more live streams. We have a lot of live streams. If you haven't seen them before, look so. We have live streams about sculpting, about texturing, about retopology, about pretty much anything on the like production pipeline. Cheeto, don't worry, man. I don't want to repeat what I said, but if my knowledge is intermediate, should I post my portfolio for you to review? Yeah, of course. Like, the rules is that you have to be doing this for at least a year. If you've been doing 3D for at least a year and you have some pieces that you want me to review, I can review them. If you're about to graduate or if you recently graduated, that's like the best like kind of portfolios. But yeah. Have you tried Renderman from Pixar? Not recently, but I did try it, like 7 years ago. Yeah, like in 2018, 2019, I was a huge fan of Renderman. I use it quite a bit for my like my stuff. But unfortunately, it's quite pricey, and nowadays Arnold can do like pretty much like a lot of the stuff. So you don't need it. If you have Maya and Cycles, again, as you can see right here, it's quite nice too. Have you tried Blender Octane? No, I don't have a license for that. Are the streams available anywhere for someone who wants to watch later? This streams, yes. Like this, like the normal Friday streams where we do like work and stuff like that, they're available on the YouTube channel. This is one of the things that I tell you guys. I've mentioned this before. Like if you just go to Leal 3D YouTube, right? Here. So we have videos, and these are all of the videos. So every week on Wednesdays, we upload a video. We have a lot of videos, over 100 videos about a bunch of different topics, bunch of different techniques and stuff like that. And then if you go here to the live, we have all of the lives as well. We have hand-painted lives, anatomy study, environment sculpting, portfolio reviews, of course, hair cards, right? Like people have asked about hair cards. We have a live streams about hair cards, XGen. Yeah, we've done like a lot of stuff. Actually, I was really happy. What happened with that one? Like the beard on that one looked quite nice. Anyway, yeah, so we have all of the live streams are here on the YouTube channel. You can go and check them out. And as I've mentioned before, if you want to learn a little bit more and you want to check the courses, we have a bunch of courses about different like softwares and things like that. So Octane for Blender is free? Oh, I'm gonna definitely check that one out. Oh, I didn't know about that. Definitely going to be downloading it then. So yeah, we have again like a Blender course about the full production for that one, ZBrush courses, Marble Designer, Retopology, Substance, and I'm working on the new course that's going to be releasing soon. So hopefully you guys stay tuned. And yeah, that's pretty much it, my friends. I'll be seeing you back next week with more 3D information. Make sure to subscribe; it really helps us. We're really close to our new or to our next milestones here on the channel. Thank you very much for all of your support. Follow us in all of the socials. Send us a what's the word, or go to our Discord channel and make sure you go there and check all of our news as well. Thank you very much for all of the participants. I will be reaching out today. I do have to do a couple of things before that, but I will be sending you a private DM with the code and the information about your credits for 3DSK. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you, David. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, everyone, for a great stream, and I'll be seeing you back next week. Have a great one, my friends. Bye-bye.